Come on.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to stream. I choked on my drink right before the intro ended, so it wouldn't be a stream if I didn't fuck up at least once. I'm glad it's right now, right out of the gate. I've got a bunch of my friends with me tonight. Got Javier Lugo as advertised. We've got Daniel Horowitz, writer for Cornerstone Creative Studios, as well, and we've got Rick Padilla again too as well. How you doing, guys?
Doing great. Yeah, blowing kisses to my kids. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Yeah, it's that time of night. It's a little bit late, so I got everybody settled in too and ready to rock and roll. Yeah,
absolutely.
So what's going on, guys?
Well,
a lot.
Tell us more, Daniel.
Yes, please go ahead. Elaborate.
Yeah. So obviously, for those of you who don't know, Javier and I are working hard to get out American Eagle right now. Yep, there we go. The gun show.
Yeah, my pencil pushing gun show. There you go.
So American Eagle is going to be our first title here at Cornerstone, which is really exciting because obviously we've been trying to get this universe off the ground for a number of years. American Eagle is a pretty interesting story. What we're going to do is we're going to release basically like a 40-page oversized issue, basically, or really short graphic novel, however you want to refer to it. That's the great cover. Very Apocalypse Now vibes, as you can see. Should be really cool. Pretty much, if you want to get into the backstory of American Eagle a little bit, he is a Japanese American who, along with his family, was in an internment camp during World War II, and basically in exchange for the freedom of him and his family, he agreed to be a spy during the World War II era. Then after that era, he pretty much became a superhero and was on various things around Asia, including Korea, Laos, things like that. And then, our story starts in Vietnam. And of course, as we all know, Vietnam War didn't go too well for America. And it's a, pretty shameful bit of our history. So what the book does is, it explores his time in Vietnam and sort of becoming, a bit disillusioned of his role in, all of this. And then, of course, at the end, we will transition into the modern era, and which will line up with the rest of the Cornerverse launch titles. So that's really exciting. Right now we have 10 pencil pages from Javier, which are looking fantastic. Of course, yes, I totally forgot that Rick did the awesome variant cover. Excited for that too. We'll definitely be releasing that along with the campaign. That's pretty much where we're at now. Just working on some final edits on the script. We'll get Jesse in to work on those inks, and then I think we're pretty much ready to launch on Indiegogo sooner rather than later.
Absolutely, that sounds great, Dan. And I've been sitting here trying to act surprised because I've been in with you guys since the beginning. So I've got a pretty good idea, and we've gone over all these things a lot. But the new artwork is surprising. I saw some pages from Javier. We started pencils; they look fantastic. As always, and like you said, the variant covers and the pinup artwork looks great. We already had that in place, so that's it's looking good. Good looking project, and I like the story as well. I think you did a good job explaining all of it. It's exciting, especially for people. Yeah, absolutely. If you like war stories, Apocalypse Now vibe, but Winged Patriot. For Americans, but even for people who aren't Americans, if you like war stories, like this is going to be for you. Dan's a professional writer. He's actually not just a professional; he's a full-time writer. So this is his thing.
Yep, I do make a living as a writer, and I write a lot of different articles. I write for a lot about like consumer technology, marketing, things like that, and then but obviously doing comics is my real love. So really excited to get this project out.
Oh, I know that. I know, absolutely. And I know that you have a project of your own that you've been working on too. So you have a lot of passion for this,
Yes.
and you're in all the way when you go into a project, and we can see you put a lot of thought into it. You helped me a lot when I joined the studio as well. And honestly, I've got a lot of advice, but you gave me the best piece of advice. I always brag about it, and I tell everybody the story, but that you gave me the best piece of advice was don't assume people are stupid.
Yes.
And so you told me that, and I keep telling the story because when you told me at first, I was very new, and I got thinking about it. I was like, how could he say that? I don't think anybody's stupid. I love all my future fans that I don't have yet. You know what I mean? And so like I had to really think about it when I got writing and looked at my scripts. After going over my scripts and applying that advice, I realized I knew exactly what you were talking about. Was that I was over explaining my work. I was afraid that people weren't going to get my work.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I appreciate you guys for seeing the merit in my work in the beginning, because it could have looked like a big mess, but you guys knew that I was passionate and you guys liked the work, but there was just a little too much. So I realized that I had to tone it back and leave some story for people, just because people are going to get it. There's things that people are going to get. I don't have to explain every little detail. And so I was able to refine my writing, and it really helped me, like really rounded out my scripts and allowed me to cut back a lot of dialogue and really get to the meat of the story and become a better writer. So thank you for that.
Definitely. Of course. Oh, and especially as you know, when it comes to comics, I mean, less is more. Like you want the beautiful art to shine, and you don't want your huge caption boxes to get in the way of everything going on. And you don't have to explain every little thing, because people will know what you're trying to say. And people can follow a well laid out story.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. And that just came with having no experience, but the big thing is that not only was it great advice, but you knew what I needed. That's what I needed to fix my writing. It was a big part of what I was missing. So yeah, absolutely. Thanks, man.
Everybody needs somebody else to kick you in the teeth every now and then to kind of put you in your place.
Some more than others, especially me. I needed a lot more kicks in the ass than that. That was just one of the first ones.
Definitely. Well, I hope he was gentle.
Yeah.
I think I was.
I think he was absolutely a lot. He was gentler than you were on your delivery of that, Javier. You didn't hold anything back, and that's good. That's good. I need someone to keep me in line once in a while. I get out of hand. Sometimes. Sure. Forget where I'm at and cross the line. So, yeah.
Hey, remember, I told you could kick me out of the stream if I get a little too extreme. So.
Yeah. Just don't push your luck, Javier. I figured out where the mute button is. So I have to shut one of you guys the fuck down. Don't worry, I'm not afraid.
You need to figure out to put a button so that it's a dancing lady comes out. Remember a long time ago, you get that program you used to download. It was just like a virus. Next thing, every time you cranked up your computer, a dancing lady would show up. It was. I can't remember what the name of the website was. But we had a whole bunch of guys who were messing around when they weren't supposed to. The next thing you know, they're having to call IT because the dancing lady's on their screen. That's how they knew they weren't working.
Dude.
That's what you need, the dancing lady. He starts talking, you mute him, put the dancing lady on.
That's so funny that you said that. And the first thing I think of is this great story by my grandfather. Was World War II veteran. He was infantry, right? But when he was in, they used to do like those. I don't know. Then it was Indian ink or what it was, but he had like looked like a prison tattoo. It was the light blue. But he got it in the service. Someone did it for him, but it was a dancing lady on his forearm. The one where like you see how like when you wiggle your fingers, the forearm muscles go, and he had the tattoo there so that the girl was in a bikini, and when he'd wiggle his fingers, she'd dance.
Oh,
yeah. I don't know what that was. And then later on, when I told that story to somebody, like some of my friends, my drinking buddies and stuff, they said it was a jerk off tattoo or something. Like you got it right there on your forearm, you know what I mean? And then when you're wiggling your hand, it kind of helps you visualize when you're out.
It's very flexible to like look at your forearm.
I guess so, right? I don't know, man, but I guess it was hard times.
Yeah.
No, my friends were weird.
He was pretty tough.
Close your eyes, bro.
What are you looking at? The tattoo.
See, even your friend came in, Javier, and said you need we need to keep an eye on you. So just remember, you're always one click away. I can shut your shit down if I have to.
What the hell does Brett know about me anyway? Who are you? By the way, he hired me to draw his comic book, so he knows exactly what he's dealing with.
Oh,
He calls you out on it, but he likes your fire, is what you're saying.
I appreciate that. That's
All right.
cool. That's
Yeah,
cool.
I think I nailed it right there again.
Okay. All right, Brett, know your place. All right.
Hey, you want to? You guys want to get into Javier's portfolios? He's got some portfolios here, bro. Along.
let's see the art.
Yeah, we can dig into his artwork, which is great because he said last time that he was unprepared, but we had a great conversation. This time he came with like 2 or 3 loaded portfolies. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and jump right into those. Take a peek and see what Javier's got for us. Now, where would you? Let me make sure I got it. Yep. Well, where would you?
Open the right folder.
Yeah, where do you want me to start, Javier? You got a lot of shit here. I mean, it's not shit, but a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's
I can see it
start
looks good
easy.
already.
Go with the sketch covers.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
All right, so pick it from left to right. Yeah. Well, there you go. That's one of my few Star Wars drawings that I've done, and of course, you know who this guy is. A friend of mine from Puerto Rico. He was going to the Puerto Rico Comic Con, and Peter Mayhew was there, and so was I think his name is Jeremy Bullock, who did Boba Fett, and the one that did young Boba Fett as well, Logan. So he commissioned 4 sketches from me, and this one's the best one that came out. That's why I picked that one. And it's in color. I normally don't do color, and it just looks. To me, if I can't recognize a drawing I did, that means I really did a good job. And I can't recognize myself there. I'm like, wow, that looks really good. So I'm really proud of that piece. And I actually have a photo of Peter Mayhew signing it and saying, wow, this is really good. So it's my little piece of Star Wars memorabilia.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And then you got a joke. Oh, hey, look at this.
Oh, the multiple Jokers.
Yeah.
How many, guys? How many?
Holy smokes. Why do you have to make me count?
No, I know how to do that. I didn't come prepared.
Should I just count them, or should I count half? Should I add together? Holy smokes!
I see 9.
There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Jokers.
I see one all the way right by the R.
Oh, there you go. That's right. Okay, so Rick, call one of those out. Do you recognize any of those?
The Joker that laughs. The classic
there you go.
Joker. The other one's from the Batman. Was it Heath Ledger's Joker?
Yep.
Okay.
Who else? I see. What's that other singer from?
Jack Nicholson Joker there. Jared Leto.
I see the Joker from. Oh my God, I can't remember.
Animated series.
Animated series. Hamill.
Good catch. All right, how about you, Daniel? Any others you catch in there?
The only one I don't recognize is the Joker at the top.
Obviously Joaquin Phoenix Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who the one in the top right is.
Okay, I'm going to give you his initials. FM is the artist's name.
Oh, I thought you were saying...
Well, I recognize it. Isn't it where after, like the series after he got his face torn off?
How about this? Did you notice he has a batarang in his eye?
Oh, yeah, I do see that now. Oh, that's Frank Miller.
Yeah,
that's the Frank Miller Joker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I make this large?
I should have got that. I thought that was like...
Now I can see them. It shows you how computer illiterate I am. I'm out there looking at the little screen when I could have just enlarged it.
Oh, no, I see it now.
Don't feel bad, Rick. I'm doing
I didn't do it either, so if that makes you feel any better.
Now I'm joining you.
No, that was fantastic. No, I didn't catch it because of the top, like where the banner is on the top.
I see the old Batman series that from 1960s.
There you go. Cesar Romero.
I am bad with names, yeah.
Yeah, we had a Hispanic Joker.
Wait, did you get... Oh, yeah, you didn't get Jack Nicholson. That's right. I thought that's right. Romero is there. It's not Jack Nicholson.
Romero.
Yeah, as you can tell, I kind of ran out of space, but, that sounds like another commission.
That's good, though. No, that's good that you ran out of space. You filled up the page with Jokers.
You need to start doing what the box office artist does. Start making the big, was it 11 by 14s instead?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and do you recognize the original one right under Joaquin and above the one that laughs?
Oh,
It's I think
yeah.
you remember that the Joker was based on some real guy who had a really big grin.
Yeah, the man
That's
that
him.
laughs was the movie, wasn't it?
Android Vate or something like that, or maybe
Mhm.
I'm putting him together with the guy from Watchmen. But yeah, that's where it came from.
Nice.
All right, so yeah, that's
I
all I
love
got on that one.
I love the face on the Joker that laughs. That turned out great.
Yeah,
Very nice work.
definitely. It's really good.
It was the only one that I didn't base on anything pre-existing, so it worked out okay.
All right, hold on. There we go. Sorry about that. I had to
It's all
switch. No, it's because I have my YouTube up too. So when I clicked to it to look at it, it kicked in the sound. We're good.
This one I like. I used a lot of different special effects for her scream, so it was good. It was a good chance to kind of explore different types of special effects on a comic book. Yeah, I'm sorry that the Secret Wars is right there because otherwise you'd see more. But there you are.
Yeah, that was strategic, Joe. We
That
were
was a
robbed.
strategic hit there, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the secret war.
Yeah,
That's the
there you
secret war that we've all fought right
Yeah.
there.
go. Wars.
I thought
Keep
this
it a
was supposed to
secret.
be non-political.
Yeah.
Hey, notice we didn't say we couldn't talk about sex. It was religion,
That's very
politics.
true.
Yeah.
There you go.
Not
It's essentially
Yeah.
it's like a politics argument sometimes, you know.
Depending.
Jake,
Sure.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've had plenty of debates.
Yeah,
Quote,
and
unquote,
three
debates.
times, three gold medal winner in that event.
I'm a geek.
I'm a master debater.
Yeah,
Let's get back to the comics.
yeah.
All right, this is my most recent piece. I literally finished this on Sunday night. It was one of the few that I get a front and back cover done, and I'm a Generation 1 lover. I mean, I'm not totally into it. I don't know all the names of the characters, but I don't need to. I'm a professional. You'll hire me to draw something, I'll do the research necessary and deliver a quality product. So
Oh,
plus I
That's
cheat,
awesome.
man. I cheat, bro. Come on. Okay. There it is. Done.
Well, at least you're honest, even though you're a cheater.
Yeah, that's how I don't get away with it. No, but check out my forum though. Okay, I'm sorry, bad joke. Let's
That's cool. Yeah, I see Jazz. You got Jazz there. Yeah, it's a very classic look to it. It brings me back. And you got Wheeljack there, which is great. I always like Wheeljack on the original series. And you got why can't I remember the guy with the one eye from Cybertron? What's his name again? Jeez.
I always want to call him Unicron, but that's not right.
No,
Yeah,
he was in the movie. No, I can't remember him. He was at the beginning of that movie, though.
Yeah, it's Shockwave because Soundwave is the one with the music.
That's
Yeah.
right. It's Shockwave. Yeah, that's right. That's why it was, because Soundwave is, you see so much more. Yeah, you got Laserbeak in there. And, oh man, you got
Jetfire.
The Jetfire. Yeah, or Starfire.
Call it whatever you want. Yeah.
Yep.
One or the other.
Yeah, Starfire is it. Yeah, he was good though. I liked him. When they did a whole series on him in the regular series. I was huge into Transformers. I remember being a kid and I'd hear that opening theme song come on the TV stuff. And I'd just go on a full sprint. That one and like the Funimation chime before He-Man. Those two things came on and I was like, or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They was on like, boom. I was straight in front of the TV. Like nothing was getting in my way. Like a linebacker, like a 5-year-old linebacker.
Transformers is I was about 16 when they first came out. I used to work at this place called Service Merchandise, and I worked the warehouse, so I used to get all the new toys, before they put them out, and I bought a whole bunch of the big ones. We'd get them at almost 50% discount. I was able to get like the big Megatron and the big Optimus Prime. Then I went and did something stupid, got in trouble, got sent away for a little while. When I came back, my little brother had just taken them all out of the box, and they were all broke. He played with them. I bought them, he played with them. And after that, I just got so mad I left it alone. Over the years, I've watched them, but I couldn't tell you who's what, apart from what I've seen in the movies. Oh, nice Iron Man.
Yeah, that Invincible Iron Man tribute's fantastic. You did a great job on that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah, Javier.
War Machine? Let me see.
Exactly. War Machine. I probably need new glasses after doing this one.
No, you can tell by the shoulder mount, but it's the original. It's the Invincible Iron Man series tribute because he has the same style and the same pose. Yeah, it's fantastic. Love it.
Like it.
Thank you. That was a lot of fun, and I learned so much because it's basically a cover recreation. I just changed the details to match War Machine, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, every time I do that, I learn. I shoot JR, man, classic Bob Layton, classic. So can't go wrong.
Well, you didn't go wrong. That looks fantastic. I love the glare off the armor. That looks beautiful. Love it. Yeah, this is going to be great. And American Eagles, that makes me excited. I can't wait to see what you guys do with American Eagle. I think it's going to be good. And with Jesse inking it, too, it's going to be... And you know he's got a lot of passion, too. And this is one of our core titles. So that's going to look fantastic. I say you guys take as much time as you need.
Printing that? Is Jesse going to be printing it for you guys?
Not sure what they've got planned.
I need to butter him up so he can use my pinup as the back cover.
Yeah, I think so. I don't want to say that's definitely true because we haven't 100% discussed it yet, but I'm pretty sure you're right.
I thought he liked it enough to put it as a variant cover.
Hey, I've got some ideas about that, and I'll get with you guys about it. I won't say it right now because I don't want to mislead anybody before you guys even get going on the campaign. But I'll hit you guys up and stuff. I got some ideas about that as far as like presenting the artwork for the crowdfund.
Yeah, sounds good. Definitely.
Yeah, and we'll share. We'll get together and we'll all share.
Sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm behind you too. If you guys have new artwork to show, let me know. I'm happy to take a chunk out of a stream any night. You guys hit me with it. Just hit me with a portfolio, and I'll show off a bunch of stuff if you guys want for anybody who's watching or to catch the playback. We got some sequential right here. The samples 2019. Let's see what we got here. Let's dig into it.
Yeah, this one was a one-off. The guy was only able to afford one page at a time, so I did one page, and that was it. The script was pretty straightforward. In the far future, an abandoned city, this warp thing opens up, and two warriors come out. That was it.
That's it. Project died after that.
Nice.
So
and then Transformers and
yeah, it's just like they're just there. But it's like a half cat person, but they got some weapons there. So
yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I like the effect of them coming out.
Cool,
considering how simple the idea was, Javier, I think you did a good job with it. It looks fantastic. Definitely. Who inked that?
Job,
did you ink that too?
I did it too. Yeah, that's my job. I got to take words, and they're great words in many cases. Hint, hint, American Eagle. But I gotta elevate it. I gotta elevate it every single time because if I don't and it fails, nobody's gonna blame the writer. It's the artist that can't draw. So, okay, so yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point.
Yeah, now this one.
Can't get into your head so much. I make that mistake. A lot of times I agonize over a little detail, and then after it's done, nobody even notices. So I'm like,
you worried for nothing, and then another time, that'd be the first thing they see. Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
This one is a book that I was hired to do the pencils on. And it's a zombie story. It's a young protagonist. She's about 14 or 15. And it takes place 30 years after the zombie apocalypse. It's called 30 AZ. And it's a story of her passage from a girl to a woman. She has to survive a night in the woods with the zombies that are out there. To make it different, it takes place in the Appalachian Mountains during winter. So we have the elements. We have all this stark white snow in the middle of the night, and zombies of all kinds just coming after her. And in essence, not only is she becoming a woman, but she's also picking her weapon of choice. So she tries different weapons throughout the night. This guy comes around and gives her a different weapon every time, and she's learning the pros and cons of each one. So in this case, she has a mace that she can use the bottom end to stab, but that puts her too close to the zombies. Any mistakes, she's a goner. That's how harsh that world is. So this is the only page in the whole 30 pages that doesn't have rules, like panels. I wanted it to be the chaoticness of you fighting for your life. Everything else,
you captured that. It looks great.
And you'll see cool. The next pages, they're all your standard, 6 panels, very nice and and rigid. But that was the idea. Okay.
And captured the expression there, and the direness of the whole situation is very cool. I think you did a great job there. And here she is whipping out the weapon. Yeah, that's great. I like that.
That's her exchanging the weapon. She's like, okay, I use this, it didn't work. Okay, we'll try this one, see if you like it. And in this case, the Kickstarter reward was, hey, you could show up in the comic, right? So the guy won. He wanted his 3-year-old boy to be in the zombie comic. Now, how do I depict a 3-year-old boy as a zombie getting killed in a comic and not have nightmares about this?
Well, you did it right here, so
I made him sick. That's what I had to do.
Yeah.
You kill him and you throw a truck on him.
Oh, you made him very gross, is what you mean, right?
Yeah, so it's not older, something a little bit bigger. So that way, it didn't feel so evil for somebody to kill a small little zombie thing.
Essentially, killing a kid, even though, well, technically he was already dead,
right?
And so, but they killed the kid again.
So
it's less. It doesn't have the same.
Yeah, so, you don't usually see kids in zombie universes.
Yeah.
Typical.
Yeah, that's true. But I like that he went for it, though. That was cool,
great. You did a phenomenal job. And
absolutely.
As you said.
All right. So this one.
Let's talk about that little kid being killed in the zombie book.
Yeah, they're gonna clip that and crucify me for it.
So understand that that was one of the books I couldn't give to kids because I got like 2 teenagers getting killed in there. So. But you know what? You know what's funny? I had extra copies. October 31st, handed them out to the neighbors. Here, there's a comic.
Oh, that's great. Make sure you give it to all the young children too, as well.
Yeah, you save it for the little kids' birthdays. Yeah.
Completely alienate yourself from everyone that way.
Part of the grab bag.
Love it.
All right, so this book here is my dream book. All the superheroes are female. So I have to get really, really good at drawing women. And I love it. I've learned so much drawing these characters, so many times. This was a great story that regrettably I couldn't finish, but they asked me to design like a heavenly host. That was it. And they're warriors. So I came up with the armor, the thought that, their faces were flames. Because when you read about angels, they all have kind of weird stuff like 12 wings and 20 legs and 500 eyes. It's weird stuff. So I thought, I'll just keep it simple and, just one weapon, not 20. So they all have axes. So I thought, it'd be something different. Because most of the time, people you tell, they ask you to design a character with a weapon. What do you go with? Sword. So I thought, let's try a long-handled axe. Like chopping down trees, chopping down realities.
Yeah.
So
I dig it. I like that. I like the design you used on the axe too.
I like the take on angels. The take that I have on angels, and for some reason it stuck with me. To me, they're like birds, right? So they all have big chests because they have to flap those wings, and they behave like birds. They're aggressive, and I like the idea of the axes. I never thought of putting an axe on an angel. But I've put machetes on them. I've cat of nine tails and stuff like that on them. But I like the axe idea.
Well, I think you did an amazing job here, Javier. Your anatomy's good. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, what I was going to say is that the previous page where the girl gets grabbed in the first panel and she gets hit with the axe and transformed, that page is as close as I'll ever get in my life to drawing George Paris style. I mean, I don't think I left much blank space in there at all. Everything is in there. I got flashes on the ground. I got when weapons move, they leave like a before image behind them. I grabbed from Kirby, I grabbed from Buscema, I grabbed from Paris, I tossed it all in there. And the next page is where one of the main characters, the superwoman of the group, gets transformed into one of those angels. Those angels, what they are, they're going from dimension to dimension and picking the top hero and destroying that universe. And they're collecting them for some final battle that is to be.
Damn, that's a cool story. But I think this is great. Concept. I know you're talking about the next page, but I'm enjoying this. You did a great job here. Definitely. I love the perspective on it, and I love the way the yeah, the way the action and the anatomy is great. This looks fantastic.
I know that one at the bottom. She about to burst out of that little uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
girl from LSD, man.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, FemForce is the name of the book, and I drew it quarterly for I don't know about a year and a half, 2 years, and great learning experience, and my confidence with the character just grew every time. So
Yep. Fantastic work. I like it, Javier.
thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, and this is like their little timeout. Okay, what are we gonna do? They stopped attacking. Well, I don't know. What should we do?
With the discussion, you got all the characters there. That's great, man. Love
And
it.
that's
Oh,
her.
I should have went back there. Hold on. Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir.
I like it.
Yeah, and you got a little bit of Kirby crackles
Kirby
going
dot.
on with the magic there.
Thank you. Yes, I borrowed from Kirby on this one. The shoulder pads, the spikes, the weird, big Barda legs. I mean, I borrowed from everything I could.
I think you borrowed all the right parts, man. That looks great.
Agreed. Definitely.
Yeah.
Very cool. This is fun going through. I didn't realize you had all of this stuff. It's a gold mine, man.
Well,
Love the portfolio. That's great.
I'm just trying to show off that I can do more than just the muscled guys. I can do
Mhm.
humor. I can
It's
do.
not a pretty face. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This was one of my first, humorous pieces, and I decided to, how in the old comics they would have like an annual book, and they all got together and they started drinking or talking about their exploits in the satellite or whatever. So I thought I'd do one with Marvel and DC, and I made sure each character had a little story attached to it. Now it's not obvious by the drawing, but it makes sense. I'll start on the left. The Hulk, right? He's on the opposite side of Wolverine. You can't put them together side by side. They'll fight. So,
Right.
so Peter Parker, Spider-Man, he knows he's outclassed. He's the always humble guy from Queens, right? So he knows he's like, I got no place in this table. What am I doing? Superman is cheating. He's using his X-ray vision to check out Hal's cards. Okay. Wolverine, of course, is being Wolverine. He's like, I don't care. I'm here for the beer, right?
Yep.
Then, of course, Green Lantern makes his own chair because, he's Green Lantern. He can. And he's drinking coffee because he's a recovering alcoholic. Of course, Deadpool's the only one that's looking straight at us. And he's cheating. He has aces coming out of his pouches on his legs. If you look really detailed, he has 5 aces in his hands, which
That's
is impossible.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, he has a straight flush. Okay, there you go. And Batman, of course, he's Bruce Wayne. He's a very rich man. He's not going to drink a beer. He's going to drink a very sophisticated drink, a martini.
And what's he got there on his lap? Is that a Rubik's Cube?
Oh, I don't know.
What do you got
That's
there?
just that. Oh, that's just part of his chair.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah. And
Cool, man.
I did the pointy Liefeld foot on Deadpool, and there you go.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice. Very
Super
nice. Cool,
detailed.
man. Yeah, and you put a lot of thought into that as well. Oh, you got Lobo here. Cool. Silver Surfer.
Yeah, that was a collaboration with Alan McMillan. He took a sketch that I did and inked it and colored it up for me. And yeah, I don't know where the idea came from, but it's like, why would I put the ultimate pacifist with the ultimate nihilist? Why not? There you go.
True.
Yeah, and I know
that
everybody.
piece
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that piece looks Norm rad, man.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. I had to do one corny joke this evening. Just don't judge me, okay?
And this one, my buddy Thomas Mustaine ordered this one, and he's a big Batman fan. And if you can look at all the characters, there's one thing that unites all 4 of these characters, if anybody can guess.
Todd McFarlane drew him.
Wow, that was quick.
Yep.
Exactly.
Awesome. He did the Mars attacks too.
Oh, I don't know about that, but the guy
He
just
did.
came up
He did
with,
Batman. Spider. He did
4 main
Batman,
characters. Yeah.
Venom, yeah, and
Spider-Man,
Spawn.
Spawn, of course, and Venom.
so,
Sweet. And I think you did a fantastic job here. I think that does
Wow,
Todd
wow.
justice. I love it, man. Yeah, your Venom is absolutely awesome.
definitely.
Yeah, that's a
Dude.
2-page spread too. So it's a huge. It's a 22 by 17, something like that. It's huge, ginormous.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
your Venom turned out amazing. Love it, man. I want to go through some more of this because of that. Let's see what we got here. Yep, and your spawn's on target. Love it, man.
Yeah, it's one of the few
that's
times my
great.
Spider-Man worked. I keep trying to give him that agility just in his body posture, and I end up like messing up his anatomy. Like,
When you,
Yeah.
when you do that,
Stretch
you gotta think. You can't think anatomically correct. That's one thing I learned from watching my trailer. When it came down to doing here was my cat. When it came down to doing Spider-Man, he just broke all the rules with him. He put
right
his
on.
legs behind his knees. You know, his legs all bent weird. You got to play with those. Those are hard to do. Because if you overdo it, then it doesn't look right. It's tough.
Javier, this is beautiful. You were holding out on
I
me.
like it, man. Yeah.
I've never
it's
seen this before.
fantastic.
Look at
Me neither,
that.
man.
Do you ever get it
Listen,
colored?
Ooh.
This is the first time it's been shown because when people commission stuff from me, I tell them I'm not going to share it. It's yours. You control who gets to see it.
Right.
So he recently came over when I'm moving into the house. I had him over for steak and beer, and I asked him to bring it over because I didn't have a copy of it. I'm like, man, I'm really proud of this piece, but I don't have it. So he brought it, and I scanned it, and I patched it all together in Photoshop.
Man, yeah, that
I
turned out
remember those
great.
days.
Yeah, if I
Love
have
it.
time, I can deliver this kind of work. I'm not saying anything else is below par, but the realities of getting comics done quickly does
Sure.
mean, I'm going to do shortcuts. On this, there's no shortcuts. I got every noodle that I could put in there, every squirt of blood from the guy's head being ripped off. It's in there. It's in there. So
And it looks amazing. That's fantastic. And I also like your
Definitely,
design on the Batman
Yeah,
gauntlet there. Yeah, with like the whatever those blades are. I don't even know what you call all that, but I like your design on it. It looks good. And like you were saying with the anatomy on Spider-Man, it does work in this, and especially if you're taking from Todd McFarlane's playbook. His Spider-Man was very what do you call it? It was very contorted. He was very contorted when he was flying because he tried to stretch the boundaries of what Spider-Man could be and how his agility looked when he was midair and fighting, and the way he could contort and move. So he was always playing with perspective to try and get something that people hadn't seen.
yeah, and at the
From
time,
Spider-Man.
it was the Superior Spider-Man when Otto Smith was in him. Spoilers, sorry. Yeah.
Fantastic. I love it, man. Nice work.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was absolutely a treat. Thank you so much for bringing that in.
Okay. All right. Well, there was another one called Project Apex. It's a letter preview of the comic that I made in 2012. It was originally called Project Overwatch, but we got a notice from a small gaming company that was coming up with a game. We didn't know this, and they're like, "Well, you can't use the word Overwatch." We're like, "Well, make us," and they're like, "Okay, here's a cease and desist." Like, "Okay, make us do it more." So we reached an agreement, a settlement, and we changed our title in exchange for certain things that simply did not happen. If you do a search for my name and Project Overwatch or Overwatch Comics, it shows me and Martin Dunn as the creators. And that's it. They didn't hire us. They didn't even consider us for drawing the comic books, even though we had that name registered 2 years before the game came out. But, big company, 2 guys just making comics. Who's going to win?
Yeah, it's hard to fight
Yeah.
big business. I know what you're saying, man. It's what it is.
But now you understand why I'm so big into indie comics. Listen, if an indie comic that only him and I and a couple people bought can attract that, imagine if we imagine CCS, basically, what we could do.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's right.
There's so much room to grow in the industry because there's so few players is really what it comes down to.
Or like people that are willing to play. And the thing is, there's a lot of competition out there that I've noticed. But I think that our advantage is definitely one of the biggest advantage we have is that Jesse put so much work in and went to so many shows, met so many great and talented people, put all of us together, really. And it's not just the professionals that he picked out from shows or that he networked with. It's people who were close who weren't there. It's new people who didn't have any experience. Those people that had the talent but hadn't been discovered yet. You got those people too. He has an eye for talent. He's a talent shark. He can see potential in people that they don't even see themselves. I've seen it many times, and he saw it in me when I was new and inexperienced, and I was a mess. Essentially a mess, and brought me in, but saw something in my work. You and him, Dan, together.
Yeah.
It was you two together. Saw something apparently in my work that I didn't see. I just had a passion, wanted to try. I wanted to create. His ability to do that is a strength, and it's a passionate strength that he has. He's not trying to make money off people by doing that. He doesn't ask for money. He put a lot of time in with me and never asked a dime or asked for a favor. I'd do whatever I could for him, you know what I mean? But he would never expect it. Like, he's genuinely a good guy, but that's a strength, I think. That's what's built this body of talent, all of these people that are networked, so that we have that strength. We've got artists on top of artists, so we can do multiple projects, and we've got backups if we need. Shit happens. We know it. Shit happens. Sometimes you need to fill in. You know what I mean? And he's going to be able to cover that. Like, on a single project, there's essentially zero risk that the book will not be done, because even if someone's transported to another dimension, like we've got artists on top of artists that we could have a guy fill in who could match the line work. He has guys on top of guys that can like match the style of artwork as well. So that's what I want to do. I've told people that many times, that I want to put our guys to work. I want to see you guys do well. I want to see us succeed. Even like I said with American Eagle, that's not mine. I don't have any skin in that game. Aside from the fact that I love our guys and I love the studio, but I would back you guys up anytime, because I want to see our guys. I want to see our guys get it. All you guys work hard. You're good people. You deserve it, man. People want good artwork from good people. So, that's what I'm all about. I want to see that happen.
I'm sorry you're stuck with me, but Daniel's good people and Rick's good people. You're stuck with me, so.
Yeah. No, you're included out here. Absolutely. And after we saw that portfolio, you can't fucking lie to us anymore. I knew you were holding out on me, so.
Now we know. Yeah.
I knew he was holding out on me. I could feel it.
I was sandbagging, man. That's my trade. That's how I impress, man. I mean, I learned that from Star Trek. Come on, lad. You don't tell the captain the real time it takes to fix the ship, right? Thank you.
Always in the worst case scenario.
And I feel you too, because I learned about 90% of my life lessons from Star Trek. So is it 10? Probably about 6% from my parents and 4%.
That's a good ratio, I think.
Trial and error. Yeah. Set personality to stun.
Yeah. It's
not bad. As you were saying, it's really nice that we have such a strong infrastructure at Cornerstone, and I think that's like really our main strength. It's just like having this huge collection of talent.
Absolutely, guys on hire. I mean, like with availability too. That's important, because if you're limited on the number of people you have talent, then you're a slave to the availability. But if you have a project coming out, or if you want to hire someone, chances are there's going to be a handful of guys that are available for commission. Like it switches out. I've talked with guys and sometimes they're not available, but there's always people cycling in it. So he's always got somebody who's on hand who can do top tier work, or can do work that's in your budget at any one time, that are like available for commission, which is amazing. And everybody has good things to say about him too. He's good.
Yeah, I've gotten plenty of work through Jesse when times have gotten tough and bills need to get paid, and I got no hat to pull a rabbit from. He's been there. So he's got my full support for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I got work because, you're absolutely right. I've got work from him as well, and so, and he's been good to me. He's done a lot of work for me too as well. So we traded. I've done writing for him, and he's done inking for me. So. Like, he actually almost turned me into an artist. So,
your art was looking pretty good the last time I saw it.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, that sketch you did for the war campaign, that was pretty good. I didn't have to fix that much, just a few things here and there.
And I like what you added to it too. I mean, you definitely fixed the imperfections in it, but you, in addition to the imperfections you fixed, you added your own to it. I was happy to see it. Let me see if I got it. I'm pretty sure I uploaded it so that we could. I've got your artwork that I did, but I don't think I have mine. Yeah, I don't have it here.
Hold on, Let me see if I got it.
I can upload it real quick. Let's see. D&D
Got it?
flat. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
I just want to make sure it's not the TIFF, so it's going to take forever. I got that right here, PNG. Yeah, that'll work. Let's do that. Yeah, I'll just upload that in the folder, in the live folder here, and then I'll share it. The other guys have seen it. I passed it in, but I sent that over to them, and the guys loved it, and they said they were thinking about using it for a promo for the for CG Jumpstart as well, because it turned out so well. And we had Carlos Villas color it, so it turned out great, of course. But Rick really went the extra mile and put the time in to see less than a minute finishing upload. Yeah, I'll go ahead and share and bring that up though, because I don't know if you guys have seen it. I shared it, but let's see right here. Yeah, I drew this and Rick tightened it up and fixed.
Oh, that looks great. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't think I'd seen that one.
Yeah, I left the polyhedron for the dice blank. I just drew the basic because I wanted the colorist. When colorist came in, I wanted him to just be able to render it, so we
Sure.
could get something really cool for the face there for the dice. The guys started doing D&D streams, so I did this just I was inspired, so I just kind of drew this during one of their streams, and then Rick added his own to it. He kind of fixed up the buckles and made it more streamlined, and worked on the gauntlets a little bit, and put some talons on the hand, and really spiced it up and made it look good. And then Carlos put his stamp on it. He lit up the War Campaign lettering and put the lit eyes in there, and and so yeah, no, absolutely. So like I said, you guys almost make me an artist. So
Yeah, that looks great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I could have done
Yeah, I
that.
think
That's awesome.
the only thing I had saw that you had drawn was that Mammoth Monk piece that you did a while back.
oh yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff in here. Check it out. While I was sharing, I mean, I'm right in here. This is just my live. I've shown it to the guys a bunch, but
Grifter, show them the original Grifter sketch.
oh
you know
yeah.
what, I've seen this one too, actually. Now that I'm
Oh, you did see this one?
yeah. It's fun though. Yeah.
Oh, you did see that one. Original. Yeah, you said the original Grifter. Yeah, we're doing the real. This is Vault, but this is where we're going to get the redesign.
Oh, nice.
I drew this here, and we just did that because, like Rick just mentioned, he was getting a little bit of Grifter heat, which he has a bunch of changes to his design throughout. Like the story takes place over hundreds of years, so there's a bunch of aspects of the story. So some of the iterations that he did, people said, "Oh, well, he's got the veil like Grifter," but we came up with this design. I came up with this design just inspired by the guys, and I think we're gonna go with this for the story for CG Jumpstart.
Nice.
We just so Rick's gonna take that and do his own iteration. You know, that's just it's just a concept. So I have him take that and work his magic on it. This was the piece you were talking about that I drew that you saw.
Yep.
And Jesse inked it and really sharpened it up with the fur and everything, and then Alessandro colored it.
Nice.
So that's great. I think I showed all this stuff. Yeah, don't get me talking about my art. You guys are. I'm a hack. I'm a hack. So this was for Hayward Saints 8. That was Eva Bexby for the Halvin for Hayward Saints 8, and so.
Yeah, what's the sketch for the King of the Grifters? The original sketch.
Oh yeah. I've got that right here. Yeah, this is what Rick did. This for the.
Show them the one you did. The original concept.
Oh God, I don't know where it is.
We lost that one. Yeah.
It's somewhere on my hard drive. Yeah, it was. It was super rough, but Rick nailed it.
That's
That
awesome.
was like the rough that I did was what I wanted, but Rick put the finished touch on it. I think he did an amazing job.
Fantastic.
This is Vax from the
Yep, I recognized him immediately.
from Cur of the Nexus. Yeah, we did a read it. Rick and I had to work this up for the cover image for CGJ. So this is the first time that the Nexus version of Vax, because there's two versions of him in the story. There's before and after, and as the story progresses, he becomes a spirit in the Nexus. And so this was the first time we collaborated just on the spot, and he came up with this here for design for him. And so this is the first time it'll ever be published, so fans will get something special by backing the book. And there I am in my natural element in the apocalypse with destruction all around me and having a beer and a smoke.
Smoking a cigarette, a cigar.
You got talent, right? You do.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I was inspired. You guys inspire me, and my new friends in Confiscate inspire me, and so yeah. And I love to create. Love to create, man. Love to make something from nothing. Nothing that's more satisfying than that is to create from nothing and make something. And you guys make that possible. That's another thing that's beautiful about working with artists and working with Cornerstone as well, as everybody's so creative and so receptive to people's vision and easy to work with. So when we have an idea, we as long as the time or the money's there, we can realize it and make it happen. You know what I mean?
Yes, we can.
And that's being able to take things from your imagination, things that you dream about, things that inspire you, and make them come to life. So love that.
Yeah, and we need to do it. We need to do more. We need to get some final stuff out there, some new stuff out there, and start making some real waves.
Yeah, hopefully American Eagle will just be the first of many, right?
That's
yes,
right.
it will be. As long as it's within my control, I'm gonna make that soar as much as I humanly can.
Yeah, absolutely.
All those books are ready, and so really just some of them need a little bit more artwork, I think, before you can go to crowdfund. But I'm happy that American Eagle's the first foot forward. Dan, you're very talented, and I think it's going to be a beautiful book. Absolutely, man. No, I believe that with all my heart. I'm happy to see that. I was happy to see you finish your project, Twinlands, with.
Oh, it's not done yet. It's actually a 160-page book. We have only 100 pages done.
60 pages.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
it's a big book.
Huge.
Oh, I see. So that's still a work in progress. How's Richmond doing?
He's good. He actually moved to England. So he got married. I actually was the best man at his wedding last year. So that was fun. And then, his wife's from England, so he moved in February, like right before the pandemic and everything. So he got pretty lucky.
No conspiracy theory there.
Not at all.
Let's not go there.
He's doing really well. He's actually working on his own creator-owned title that he wrote and everything, and he colored and lettered and everything. So that's pretty exciting. And I think he's doing 4 or 5 other books. So he's pretty busy.
Yeah, but it's good.
Europe has a very big market when it comes to artwork.
Definitely.
Last time I was in Spain, I went out there and checked out their comic book shops, and I just didn't have enough money to buy all the books that I found, man.
Absolutely.
I was just looking for some specifics. I grew up reading Tintin, so I was looking for the Tintin book.
Oh, sure.
And Obelix. I was looking for Mafalda. I don't know if you've heard of fictional books. And then I found all these French books. I can't read them because I don't speak French, but man, the artwork was awesome. I just started grabbing them. And I got to make another trip just to buy books.
No kidding.
I look for them online, but I don't know the title, so just got to go in there and browse. It's awesome. So if he's in Europe, he's making money.
Oh yeah, he's doing.
I know that. You guys ever heard of Steve Scott? He was doing all this stuff for DC. He was doing Batman for a while. He had a hard time finding work here. He moved to Europe, and I think he's currently working on something.
That's awesome.
But the market over there for artists is a lot bigger than here.
Absolutely.
As long as you don't go to Japan, they'll work you to death.
Yeah, for no money either.
Yeah, I was reading about it. They think American artists are lazy.
Yep. I know.
I know. We got.
I was talking with a friend of mine online. Don John was saying the same thing, that he hires Japanese artists. He's got a bunch of them he hires because they do have almost like an honor code when they're writing and they're on commission. Like they don't play around. They take it very seriously that they're going to deliver, and he likes that. So yeah, I can see what you're saying, like where they think that we're lazy because stuff happens. Like for them,
I would make it in Japan.
It's dishonor if they don't deliver on time and on spec. So they.
Well, it's a different production method entirely because over here we get, I don't know, one editor, one writer, pencil inker, letterer, colorist. Over there they have 10 people working on pencils. Hey, I'm a course specialist. That's all you do. Oh, I do buildings. That's all you do. Oh, I do special effects. That's all I do. And of course, if you have a team of 20 people, yeah, you're gonna pump out pages. Look at any of these manga books at the first couple of chapters. Lots of wide open spaces, a lot of moody stuff because they gotta produce what 8 pages on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
You have no time to play around. You got to draw the heck out of this, write the heck out of it, and then work for next week's stuff. And you got to impress the editor for them to keep you in the book because those things are printed weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you mess up your deadline, you're
something on
gone.
YouTube about it. It's impressive. If you have a say like I have a best-selling book, I need a crew because you got to maintain. So my job is just to write it and kind of make the sketches and get everything going. Then I'll have 2-3 guys that do the finishes. Then the guy that like you were saying, one guy comes in and this, and it's a crew, and I feed them. Like I bring them home. I don't know how much they're getting paid. I feed them so they work till deep into the night, and they go home, get a couple hours of sleep, and come right back till the book is done. Take about a week off, do it all again. It's like that's rough.
Yeah, I used to buy these Chinese comics that were translated into English from Jademan Comics, and in the back, Tony Wong would explain, "Yeah, this is what I do. I just do like a quick sketch, so that way it looks like I designed it." And then he actually had photos. It's a room full of artists just doing everything else. But guess what? It's his name on the cover. It's his characters, and it's his stuff on all the merchandise. And I mean, these were great books, full color for like 75 cents back in the 80s when everything else here was already at $1.50. And it was tremendous stuff. I mean, and it was really awesome looking. And that's when we had Joe Mad come into the business, Wiles Portasio. They all borrowed from Japanese, Chinese comics, and what's manhwa? That's I think manhwa is from, oh God, I can't remember. Korea.
Philippines or Korea?
From Korea, yeah. And it's a great look. I mean, I'd love to be able to draw in that style. I'm just too Americanized for it. But it's fantastic. And I'm one of the few suckers that actually buys the books. I don't just read them and put them back when I go to Barnes and Nobles. So
then you have them though too.
No, they
So
don't even have a Barnes and Nobles anymore. They got hip to your scam. They closed down.
yeah, see, they shut your shit down.
Try reading that. Yeah, now you got to break into their server and steal the PDF.
No, they're
Jesus, Rick. I got hardcore pirating going on.
Not that I know anything about that.
You hire some Japanese hackers.
definitely not.
I pay for everything I own.
nobody's heard about the dreaded pirate Rick?
The Dread Pirate Rick.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He hires Japanese hackers to steal his comic books for him.
And then draw them and take the credit.
Draw them and take the credit. That's right. That's great. Hey, I like the way you think, Dan. That's great. That's like a 3-stage pirate grift.
Definitely.
Love it.
Well, of the 4 of us, I can definitely say I have the least drawing talent. So that's how I had to think of it.
But then again, I mean, you had to focus so much on the writing. I mean, you write full time, so
Exactly.
you really have any time for anything else. Like
I know. I was
you're
just
living
thinking,
off of it.
like,
So
I was like, oh, I just have to write another like 10,000 words in the next like week and a half. Like, no big deal. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
You pick what you're good at. Sometimes other people guide you to it. I started playing music, and while I was playing guitar in bands, I was doing the posters. Well, once the bands broke up, nobody asked me to play with them, but they kept asking for the posters. So eventually, it became painfully obvious I'm good, but not that good. So obviously the art is better, and that's what really got me into art originally. I was doing band posters for my friends. Nobody asked for the guitars; they asked for the artists. So and over time, I had to decide: am I going to do this or am I going to do that? I played for a while. I play every once in a while. Well, it's been years now, but I eventually just stuck with the art because that's what everybody kept asking me to do. So you become good at what you're doing the most. So if you're writing, you're going to be a better writer than an artist.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes, as you said, opportunities just kind of arise. Like I just started. I myself was in band when I was like in high school or whatever, and then I started writing for the school paper, and then I ended up quitting band because I liked writing for the school paper so much, and that's like what. Then I went to college for writing, and I've spent years as a professional writer, and it just kind of went from there. And I don't play music anymore. Like
same thing. Yeah.
You also you interned at what was it, Marvel and Valiant as well too, right?
Yes, I did when in college. That was pretty fun. I mean, it helps live in New York. Like, there's a lot of opportunities like that.
That's right.
Where do you live in New York?
But still, it's amazing.
I was in Astoria.
Oh, nice.
Never
I
went back.
actually will be there on Saturday because one of my best friends lives there. So.
I left New York, never went back, and I was back in 86, 87. I also made the mistake of driving my own car. I'll never do that again.
No, you can't really drive here. That's not a thing. Like,
yeah, so we got a Brooklyn, New York connection here because I was born in Brooklyn. My parents moved when I was 8 in 1979.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I was actually born in Elizabeth.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
And I went to visit just out of nostalgia. I got robbed at the damn airport. That's another reason.
That was it, yeah.
Then you just come home right
on your way home. Here's a piece of New York.
Here. Right. Yeah. We got your wallet. Go home. Yeah.
Welcome home, Rick.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's a great story. I mean, it's not a good story. It's bad, but yeah, I mean, it's a great story.
Funny.
Daniel.
After the fact.
I want to reserve some time with you later on because my daughter wants to be a writer. She's really good at it. So I want you to just do your best job to dissuade her from being a writer, so I can find out if she's really serious. But
it's not easy. Like, I'll say that.
I'm so impressed that as much passion as I have for what I do, I can't draw for a living. You have a passion for writing. You're doing it for a living. That impresses the heck out of me. I just thought I'd let you know.
Thank you. Yeah, it's you have to, like, I don't write comics for a living. You know what I mean?
No, I understand.
Of course. Yeah. But the nice thing about writing is it's such a broad skill, and like there are so many different. Like, I write a lot about like consumer technology and marketing and search engine optimization and all these different topics. So like you start to become like a subject matter expert, and then you can get paid pretty well to do articles and things like that. So,
nice.
I've been building this up really for, I guess I've been freelancing for 6-7 years at this point. And you just like, you get to a point where it's like, oh, like, I guess I can do this. Like,
Yeah, when you've been doing it for a while, it gets to the point where like you just the subject matter now, and the pay is good, and it's just now you're just going to work. You're punching in, you're clocking in, you're going to work, you're doing what you do. It's not like you're aspiring to be a writer. You just sit down and work. You're doing your.
It kind of happened. Like, I mean, I had a lot of crappy jobs in between college and like being able to do writing full time.
Hey, I'm going to address the chat. Lou's been here since the beginning. Lou, thank you so much for coming by. You've been a good supporter, man. We appreciate you in the chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lou.
Thanks, Lou.
Okay, have a good one, okay? No, Rick does. Rick knows Lou's been in here with us a bunch, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't hear Rick, that's all.
I saw him on his keyboard. It looked like he was sharing. He was taking care of some business there. And he's got his draw tablet up, too. Hey, Rick, you want to... he was typing in the chat to Lou. Yep, thanks for dropping by. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's thanking me. Yeah, because he remembers him.
Did you mute him, Ryan? What are you
doing? No, I didn't. Let me try to unmute him. There we go. No, I never muted.
No, I was saying Lou's been there since I've been coming around. So I don't know if I draw something, at least buy one. So if I sell one, I know it's Lou.
There you go.
Yeah, he's been dedicated. That's good to see him too.
Customer already.
Yeah, no, he's good shit. I talk to him regularly.
Always use Lou for sure.
Yeah, he's good, man.
Get it? We can always use the Lou. Oh, forget it. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. All right, where's that mute button? That's it. Where is that goddamn fucking thing?
It was there. I took my shot.
That's great. Hey, oh yeah, you've got your tablet out, Rick. If
I
you
got the
want,
tablet up if you want to show 'em my version of.
what's up right now? It's all right if I share that.
Yeah, go ahead, share.
Okay.
My version of American Eagle and the
Yes.
panel I was working on.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
We have a whole
I-
poster of that actually that sold
Mhm.
quite well at a couple of conventions we did.
Yes, it has. Yep. I'm actually having to draw your style now, Rick. Thank you.
Sorry, messed it up for you. Sorry.
Hey, I
You set the
told you.
bar real high, man. Look at those wings. Those wings look awesome.
Fantastic.
Oh, I with those wings. Yeah.
Yeah, I like how that came out. I like the design on the suit. You know, I like all the variants for him. I like the character, but I definitely like the style. It's very cool. It's very
that
much.
That was Jesse's idea. Originally, I drew him with bird wings, and Jesse's like, "No, they got to be blades." Okay, so we go with blades.
Let's do it. And you drew blades, and they look great.
Definitely killed it.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I like the scene too with the buildings behind and up over the city.
Yeah.
Love it.
How about the logo? Did you do that, Rick? The
No,
American
that
Eagle
wasn't
logo?
me. I don't know who came up
That's
with that.
probably that was Jesse.
Okay.
I believe it was Jesse. I'll have to ask him, but I'm pretty sure he does all of our. He did all of our logos. I think there's very few that he didn't. I think there were a couple that were done by Willem Heeman. Like Willem Heeman did Meteor Marley and the Astro Nerds for me.
Oh, nice.
And he did Galvani. And he did Power Block, the logo for the book that we have. And let me think, who else did he do? I think that's it. And he did the pages for Galvani too. He rendered those fully start to finish, Willem Heeman's. And he did my logos. Author Bomb Books logo here in the top right.
Nice.
And he did, what else did he do? He did the seals for the, where is it? If I have a copy of that book here. I had it here on my desk. Let me see if I can grab it real quick without losing all my stuff.
By the way, Rick, did you do the coloring on that American Eagle piece too?
No, I cannot remember who colored it. This is such a big stable of people that he picked. I can't keep up with.
Check it out.
Okay.
Check it out. I found this too. I got the original.
Oh, the
sitting
original
out here.
sketch, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I've got the original sketches. Probably not coming in too good because my webcam's hot trash, but there you go.
There you are. Yeah, that's
My
good.
webcam combo is a hot trash fire, but that's the best I could do, I think. There. Yeah, so I had a copy of that comic here somewhere, and you know what? It ain't showing up. I don't know where it went for the life of me. I had to throw a copy out so I could show. Oh, there we go. All right. Yeah, these seals right here, he did these. At the bottom, the two seals, the heroic fiction seal that we want to put on our titles. I don't know if you guys talked about it, if you guys want to use them for the American Eagle, but it's symbolic as a meaning behind it. When I talked to Jesse and we came up with it to show two seals for our studio, like the heroic fiction line, just showing that we wanted to do comics our way. And we wanted to bring prestige to comic books. We're not just making funny books here. We put a lot of thought into our stories. And so I wanted to give something to symbolize that because I was very inspired. And then here we've got a collaborative art form is what the star says. And that's it may sound kind of cynical when I say it like that, but you get a gold star for working with people and completing a book but it's about teamwork. You know what I mean? And our guys work very well together. And it is a collaborative art form. It's people working together for one goal. And so, just to kind of honor those two things that Cornerstone does an amazing job at. It's a well-oiled machine. It's perfection.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Our guys work well together. So all of our team's very professional. So love it. So what's this other piece here, Rick, that you've got? This other panel piece, you want to bring just that up so we can check out the detail maybe on each of these one at a time or whatever you want to do.
So I'm working on that werewolf with the broken jaw.
Oh, nice. So these are the first two panels of the page. Rick's been putting a ridiculous amount of time into this, as you can see. Going close on the first panel and show him the detail, Rick, that you put in.
don't know if you can see it, but remember you were talking about maybe having his eye pop out?
Oh, check it out.
I'm playing with it.
Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, I didn't.
I'm a little worried about losing the shape of the werewolf, but his jaw is broken, so I got
Yep.
his tongue sticking out right here, and the jaw is kind of out of place. Once I get the blood splatter in there, it should come out in place, or at least you'll be able to tell that his jaw got ripped out by the hammer.
Oh, it's gonna be brutal. Where's the hammer gonna be
The
at?
hammer is actually right here, behind.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got it.
Let me close, and then I got the hand coming in from the top. So the panel is actually going to be here. I'm going to enclose it with the swing of the hammer, and then I'm just going to leave this open over here, so you can put in lettering.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's
Dig it.
as far. Yeah, everything else is blank right now. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be cool. Yeah, I dig it. Yeah, we want to do a little bit of gore. Why not? Let's just do something fun. Show something getting destroyed.
With
That's
working
just
with a tablet is that I can zoom in. So I start zooming in and zooming in. Next thing I know, I'm doing this insane amount of detail and stuff.
Chainmail, man. Every link, really?
Yeah.
look. Show them the neck. Show them the neck and the arm, Rick. The amount of detail that you got into and how the shading of each one. Look how dark.
Brushes that can do this.
Go in closer. Go in closer and show them how intricate it is when the fans are going to get up close.
A combination of scratch brushes right here, a little chain link one, and some of this is just me going back with like a G-pin and adding the shadows. And this right here, and then the forest, I got these cool little brushes that do. This is a brush, so it does these little leaves. So these leaves, these little marks that look like leaves. So I just fill it in black, and then go back over it in white to create the back, and just play with it till it looks right.
Oh, that looks great! I love it.
Another scratch brush. I buy, out here at night, sometimes I'll go through websites and I'll find people that have made cool brushes and they have them for sale. I'll buy them. I got a stack of them here. I got these. I got Jimmy Reyes's brushes, and Zoram has some brushes, and so that's where I get them from, and it helps out. Plus, it saves time. If I was doing this by hand, I'd probably still be working on it.
I was gonna say that panel by itself, you can turn that into a poster.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's an insane amount of detail, and mainly the reason why you couldn't normally do that, but we've got a ton of time before CG. I think CG Jumpstart is going to launch after the new year, so we've got a ton of time, and we're only doing 4 pages.
For me, is like I have to have one panel that has a lot of it. So this panel has a lot. And then there's going to be another panel right here at the bottom that's going to have a lot also. But all these other ones are going to be simple. Like panel 2 and panel 3. On panel 4, I'm drawing the vampire. She's going to be sitting in the throne, no background. It just kind of, I don't want to tire your eye out. You know what I mean? So I'll give you one that's really detailed, and then kind of some that I picked up from other artists where if you do one good detailed panel in the page, the other ones can just be talking heads or no background, and people will know where it's at.
Exactly.
So I can just put, everything on. I can put everything in one shot, and everything else can just be implied.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That makes sense. They're getting beautiful artwork. There's no way to put that much time into all of it.
If I sit here and render this page to death, then it's just gonna. By the time you get to the second page, you're not gonna want to read it, because as cool as it looks individually, when you put the whole page together, if it's too busy, people will shy away from it.
Yeah.
You got to give them one good shot, and then the rest can be simple, and it keeps them going. You just make them interesting.
Love it. Yeah, I love it. I think that's going to be great, Rick. I love the detail you put into it.
I subscribe to that. Yeah, I always try to have one money shot in a page. That's what sells it. Everything else, like you said, once you've set the scenario, everything else, your mind assumes it's in the same place.
Correct. That's what you want to do.
Bravo, sir.
Yeah, absolutely great, Rick. Hey, I wanted to say one thing though about the hammer. when he's coming in, if he's got the horse and he's on that side, I want to say that the hand would be turned over because he'd be coming down. See how he's holding it in the first panel?
Well, he's holding it down. I've been working on that. It just because I'm thinking he's coming down and he's not swinging back down. I think he's just swinging back because he's using also the force of the horse.
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking is this is what he would be doing.
He's coming down, and then what? Because in my mind that hammer. That's why I put the stopper at the bottom right before the spike.
Yeah.
So when he swings back, he can just open his hand a little bit, let it slide out. The stopper keeps it from flying off his hand.
Right.
He can crack you even harder with the speed of the horse than he could if he was coming back down. Because if he was coming down from the front, he would miss. By the time he got to you, the horse would have passed you. So he's got to do. You know what I did? I watched a lot of Nightfall in a lot of movies where you got night horses. And if you notice, they do things backwards because they're using the force of the horse. If they actually swung a sword like you would swing a sword, they would miss because the horse would pass you and you might just catch the tip or you can duck. But if they come in backwards, and you notice, you see that in the movies, they'll come in backwards and nail you because the horse is that's where the torque is.
Yeah,
when
like an uppercut.
You have torque like you would on your feet. So the horse becomes your torque.
Yeah, you're transferring all that kinetic energy from the horse and you and the hammerhead straight into somebody's face. Yeah,
it's more.
That's a good point.
Because originally I wanted to do it the other way around, and then after watching, I sat down and binge watched all these shows one weekend, and it's like, okay, it's the other way around.
What I'm thinking is when I see it as it is, let's say it's the same perspective. So I'm coming in. The way he is, you got your hand where, let's see if I can do it. You got it like this, and he's coming in, and you got that hammer coming down under. I don't even think I can do it because I don't have enough camera, but yeah, I might have to.
On the second panel, maybe flip the hand around.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like flip the hand around so that he's, like you said, like he's swinging. You ever seen polo?
Yeah.
That's how I imagined it, like a polo swing.
Down. Yeah.
Like but instead of top hand coming like this, you want it like like coming like almost like a polo, like you're swinging like golf, like coming under. I know what you're saying. Like that looks like it's the follow through maybe, but it doesn't look like it's lining up right for me. I think but it's not done. All you'd have to do is change the perspective so that change the perspective so that the hammer and the hand, it looks like it's coming straight at us, like from the first panel to the second panel. It would be coming at us the same angle as the eyeball, like the hammer would be coming straight at us like a polo. So that way it looks like he's
polo hit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I can fix that.
Because that's just rough sketched anyway. That can come out of there easy.
Yeah,
I'm glad we caught it right here.
I'm concentrating on the wolf, but
Rick, I'm on your side. You figure it out. Draw the heck out of it, man. You know what? Entertainers just need to be entertaining.
That is true.
No, Rick's killing it, man. Rick's killing it. We're gonna get this though. We'll team up and we'll get everybody something beautiful. I'm sure that part's easy. There's nothing to. He just did a rough there. We can. Man, that was probably a 5-minute sketch there.
Tell the crunch, brother.
Want to leave all this detail and just work. Have you guys heard of? What is his name? Hold on. He's a local artist too, and I watched him work one day. Hold on, let me find my phone. I'll find him. But he draws Bloodshot. Not Nico, because he's the one that everybody knows. La Rosa, I think is his name.
La Rosa, yes.
Yeah, I bought some artwork from him, and we went and had a beer together. And I was watching him work because I bought a couple pages from him. He's like, dude, I got to give you a sketch. So he starts. He pulls out a pencil and just does this little squiggly stuff. And right away you can tell it's a head. Then he pulls out a pen and just threw in a couple lines, and it all comes together. He uses 3 Copic markers. I think it's like a 2, a 4, and a 6. When he started putting in the Copics on that, it all came together, and that sketch was done in like a few minutes, and it's one of like the best sketches I've ever gotten from anybody. And his artwork is that if when I bought the pages, I was looking at them, hardly any line work on it. Is just the Copic. The Copic brings it all together, and I thought, man, someday I'd like to do it, but I know he's doing it. But God, he impressed me with that. Yeah, that's it.
That's him.
Oh wow, yeah, it's
Yeah,
fantastic.
and that is done. If you look at the originals, let me see if I got a picture of the original. He posts them on Instagram all the time. They're all.
No, he's a beast. That man is inhuman. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he does it. So yeah, once you see how he does it, it's so simple. The technique that he's using is genius. When he did that Batman for me, let me see if I. Oh yeah, I got a picture here from him.
Wow, yeah, looks great.
Yeah, this book just came out last week. It's
really?
great. It's horribly great.
I don't know. Can you see it? From my phone might be shining a little too much on it.
No.
It's just, if you look,
That looks
the dark stuff
fantastic.
is not pen, it's a marker. It's like a 6, cool gray number 6. Then it goes down to a number 4 and a number 2, and that's what puts the whole drawing together. Because if you look at his line work, it's barely even there. If you saw this without, as a matter of fact, if you looked at it without the markers, you'd be like, what is it? Because it's flat, is almost dead. He uses a little thin dead line. It's just it all comes alive with the markers.
Yeah,
I was impressed when he's looking at it. He's like, "Oh, it's just a sketch," and I'm thinking, "Genius,"
mhm.
But
That's
he
the
wouldn't
thing.
buy him another beer.
Here's the thing, Rick. There's somebody out there that thinks the same thing about you. That what you do is magic. That what you do is like something completely incomprehensible, and only you can do it. And that's the thing about us artists. We tend to think, oh, just because we know it, everybody knows it. Just because we do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, because it
And it's
makes
not true.
sense in your head. Yeah.
And when I say artists, I do include writers and musicians,
Sure.
because Daniel, what you do, I can't do, because
I
if
wish
I
I
could
could.
do it, I'd be doing it, and I'm not.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel the
So-
same way. There's no way I can draw like a stick figure.
And as much as I don't know about you, Rick, but I downplay my abilities. Like anybody can pick up a pencil and draw. That's my
I tell it to
fundamental
everybody. It's a
belief.
learned skill.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
I'm sure Daniel, when you want to be, hey, yeah, anybody can pick up and write, but to write well and to write for a living,
Very true.
that's a different scale.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of artistic skills. I think a lot of people downplay like how much effort it takes to learn them, and just like how much practice and repetition and things like that. And I mean, there's the whole 10,000 hours theory, and I'm not saying I entirely agree with all of that, but like you do need to do it a lot at least in order
Yes.
to become good at it. Nobody can learn these skills in an afternoon. Like,
Right.
No,
Right.
it takes time, and I think that's everybody is like the talent. The talent is the same for everybody. Is the patience to do it.
Mhm.
If you like something more than I do, we can, all three of us could play guitar, but if you like classical music more than the rest of us, that's what you're going to concentrate on. When nobody else is practicing that, you'll be working on your scales or whatever your technique, and that's how it develops. Writing obviously for you is more interesting, so you spend more time doing it. I got
Yes.
ideas of things that I want to write. I start writing, and 15 minutes later, I'm sleepy. Because just
Yep.
my brain doesn't. It just gets overwhelmed and shuts down. That's same thing when I'm trying to do my taxes. Everything else. If it's not drawing, I can stay up all night drawing, not a problem. That's one of the things that when I try to do other things like write or color, I'll start watching a tutorial, and it's just my brain. It just will not focus. It's just not as important to me. And then I might try to leave it to other people who is, I think I could color all my own stuff, but then I much rather give it to somebody who has the experience, who loves it more than I. They can do a way
Right.
better job than I could, and I recognize that, and that's the thing. You got to learn to recognize it, because you got a lot of people tell you, "Oh, I can do everything." No, you can't. And when you find somebody who's better than you at it, instead of trying to bring them down, bring them up, because my God, You know, you get a good colorist, a good inker, a good penciler, and the artwork just becomes glorious. It's that combination of work that makes it awesome. It's like if you watch Jim Lee, he's an awesome artist, but that combination of Scott Williams and Jim Lee, you can't top it. That's why they're still working together, because if Jim was better than Scott, he would have dumped him a long time ago, you know,
Right.
or vice versa. But it just works. I've seen Scott inked other people. It's not as impressive unless you mix, you know, that dynamic with Jim Lee is just you can't duplicate it. So
Yeah, that's where I'm at, Rick, too, as well. Like with the only with the writing on the other side of it. Like I do sketches and stuff, but I prefer just to do like concept or layout stuff, and then let people who are professionals, like you guys, do the artwork. The words are where I'm at, writing comics in a script, like sitting at my computer with mountains of words, and just put on some headphones. I always have headphones on, or listen to whatever I'm listening to at the time, if it's rock or alternative, if I'm revisiting music or new music, whatever inspires me. I think one time I wrote an entire script listening to the Game of Thrones theme on a 10-hour loop. I was doing work for Jared. We were doing the World of Game Design stuff, and I was doing an adventure for him, and I listened to, like, literally did the whole 10,000 words listening to that on loop for a week. Yeah. So
it's so funny. I can't have any distractions when I'm writing, and music included. It's like, especially if it has, you know, things without lyrics, maybe.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Usually not. I can write so much quicker without listening to music or with no distractions, and just like on my laptop.
Yeah. For me, I've been doing it since the beginning. I have to have some music on while I'm listening to it so that I can tune out. It just lets me go into the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, like, it helps me get into the box.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries. And listen, you know, as you know, so much of writing is rewriting too. I mean, you know, you could write a first draft, but like it's gonna kind of be crappy, and your second draft might be a little better, but it's also not going to be great. Once you hit, you know, maybe like your fourth, fifth draft, whatever, it's going to be really good. But like in that first draft mode, you're just trying to like throw up on the page almost, and like just get your ideas out there. And like it doesn't need to be, you know, Shakespeare on page 1, you know, and you're like it just takes a while to, like, you know, you gotta sometimes, you know, and I'm sure we're both guilty of this, is overwriting when you write too much, and then you have to pare it down, and like that's really like where the magic happens, you know.
That's right. I agree with you on that. Especially for me, I always have to cut back on my second, third, fourth passes. So I always try to get more. And it's just like you said, I think the first time you said page throw up, but the first time you and I were talking, when you mentioned you call it page vomit.
Yeah.
Just getting as much, just boom, just throwing it out as much as you can. And then when you go back and cut back, you're keeping the best of it and then adding to it. And so, yeah, that's how I like to do it too. Ever since we talked about it that way, I looked at it differently, because I was trying to get a good copy the first time through. So it was
time consuming. Like a classic, like, early writer mistake. It's like it has to be perfect immediately, and if it's not perfect, like, I suck. Just like that's not really what the process is. Like, you know, any great writer, like Hemingway didn't sit down and write all of his books in one go. You know, like that's not how it goes.
That's right. Yeah, it helps you. Yeah, it's definitely good. It's almost essentially like multiple people writing. It's yourself, but you're maybe in a different mindset when you go back through it. You get a different perspective the next time you go through it. You can see parts of it more clearly than when you went through it the first time, or you can focus on them better. Yeah, so like, or you get more ideas, like in between sessions. You know, like after you get a draft done, you're out at your day job or whatever you're doing. You're out shopping or something. You get an idea, and when you go back, you know, you think, because that's common too. A lot of writers, like, we're thinking about things when we're not writing. We're thinking about lines of dialogue and those kind of things. I mean, especially if you're into it, you know what I mean? We're into our own content. So if it's something we're doing that we're passionate about, yeah, you're thinking about it. And so you're getting, you're essentially writing when you're not writing. It's just like when you see the movies, like the old movies, you see like they have a pad on them, and they'd see something that inspires them to write it down. Neil Gaiman actually mentioned that. I saw a documentary with him, and he mentioned when he's writing, like when he's not writing, he's always writing. He's got a pad with him, and you'll see something that inspires him, and he's writing in his pad for when he goes to sit down to actually do his craft. So, Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of writing is just thinking about what you're going to write.
Yeah,
Really,
pretty
like,
much. You're writing in
Oh.
your head before you actually go and sit down and do the real thing. Like you're
exactly.
preparing.
Like the actual act of writing is a lot quicker than drawing. Obviously, like it doesn't take 4, 5, 6 hours to write a script page, but you have
But
to
I've
think.
definitely, yeah, that's right. Like when you're not writing, yeah, absolutely. I've definitely put a lot of hours in, like actually thinking of storylines for my own work, especially like thinking about it because it inspires me. Like I said, so yeah, like I put a lot more time than actual logging time, hours, and words. And the thing is like if you're doing freelance too, you're not getting paid for those hours. If you're thinking about your work before you write down, before you sit down, because you're getting paid by the word. So that's extra work that you're getting and that you're putting in. Another one too is I do a Q&A before if I do someone else's stuff. Like when I did Jesse's work, I sat down, we did an extensive Q&A, and I took notes, did an outline essentially before I even sat down and start writing. So those were a lot of hours that I was not writing, but I was actually preparing to write, and then reading write-ups too as well. If there's write-ups on the work, like on the subject matter, I want to be familiar with it before I go, and I want to be as true to the vision as I can. So I approach it seriously. I want to be, I approach it professionally. That's how I envision a professional would do it. You want it to be how they envision it. So you try to absorb as much as you can so you can hit the no.
Definitely. And especially when you're doing work for hire, you're ultimately like carrying out someone else's vision. So you want to make sure like it fits that,
Yeah, absolutely. Because you want them to hire you again, really, or you want like a good reference. It's nice to have good references, and I'm in good standing with Jared and with Jesse, and so everybody that I've written for so far has been good. So I think you guys got me in shape. That was great, man. Thank you. I appreciate last year that money. We needed that money that I got for that commission job through the studio. So you guys helped us. So yeah, thank you. Hey, you guys have some time. You guys want to change gears and talk about something extremely nerdy, Dungeons and Dragons?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can tell
It's been
Javier's
so
stoked.
long since I played Dungeons and Dragons, honestly, like college. So
Yeah, so it's been some time, and Rick said the same thing. He's tried it, but he hasn't recently, right, Rick? Yeah, that's all right. Sorry if it's bad subject matter for you. If you're not interested in it, I am a big geek, so I played a lot when I was growing up as a kid, of course. But
nice.
I have like my roots came from that, like my reading comprehension at a young age, playing Dungeons and Dragons as a preteen with my friends, and I loved reading the books and the artwork in the books. So really, if at my core, like my understanding of writing and creation really came from Dungeons and Dragons because it's a game that's based on imagination and reading, and of course like doing math and things too. But like my core was that's when I got an interest in it. So, and I used to read the old TSR books as well. I've always loved fantasy books. My dad bought us The Hobbit when we were a kid because he loved The Hobbit. So way before the movies even came out, my dad was like, "This is a fantastic series. You have to read this." And he bought a beautiful like hardcover special edition set, for us to read because he loved this book series so much. My dad had good taste in pop culture, very good taste, and I get it from him. I think whatever I have, I mean, it's not confirmed, but like I get my taste from him. And so so early Dungeons and Dragons. I loved the TSR books. I was always in the library getting those books, and I was an avid reader. And the source books themselves have a lot of good writing, and they have a lot of good, like if you think about world building and creating characters and story.
Cartography,
Yep. Well, yeah, absolutely. Dungeons and Dragons, when they're teaching you how to be a DM, to run a game, they're essentially giving you tools to create your own stories for other people to play. And really the step from that to creating a book, writing a book or writing a comic book or creating a story, it's essentially seamless. You just have to learn the technical side of writing, but you already have the idea of how to entertain your friends and have fun and make a story that's engaging through experience just from playing. You know what I mean?
When to throw a curveball to the players, when you need to kill them all to teach them a lesson. Yeah,
absolutely. And they tell you all of those things in the books. Like they explain it from their perspective, telling you how to do those things, how to make engaging stories, how to try to kill, what you're trying to do to entertain your players so they'll want to play. So it's fun for each player. And so, so that's the basis for that. And recently, the reason why I kick on Dungeons and Dragons, I haven't played. I played with my kids. I have a collection, and I play with my kids. So that's good. I have a 16-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a newborn now. But my kids are old enough to play and roll, and they love it. They want to play more like Soldier of Fortune, like sci-fi and guns and stuff. So we play sci-fi Dungeons and Dragons. But
cool.
but I just make it up on the fly. You know what I mean? But they enjoy it. And so, but the reason why the kick recently is Joe approached me and wanted to run a game. He has some friends that wanted to play, and so he had this idea, wanted to do a stream, and he came up with a campaign, and he's doing all the artwork for it, and he just wanted to stream it for fun and show off some artwork and have fun. And so I was interested in it as well, because recently there's something going on in the mainstream with Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. If you guys don't know who they are,
you were mentioning at the Dragonlance.
Yes, absolutely.
I've read many of those actually when I was younger. I'm very familiar.
Oh, nice. Fantastic. Yeah, they're very talented creators and writers, and they created the Dragonlance universe for TSR, like in the game form. So it started as a TSR, like a branch of Dungeons and Dragons was Dragonlance. It was like they had Forgotten Realms from Ed Greenwood. They had Dragonlance from them. So they created the Dragonlance world, and then they did the novels for TSR as well. So recently, they wrote. They were commissioned to do a trilogy for Wizards of the Coast. So now it's not owned by TSR; it's bought out by Wizards of the Coast.
Gotcha.
And then Wizards of the Coast was bought out by Hasbro.
Right. So
Hasbro's
huge corporation now. Yeah.
So it's a huge corporation that owns it now, and so these original creators were commissioned to do this trilogy as like an "I love you" to the fans who love this work. And so they got one book in. From what I understand, the rumors, they got one book in, and then the company changed the editing team on them. Had to bring in another editing team, and then so one book was approved, and then the second book they started, and they were having trouble getting the draft approved. They were getting into chapters and stuff, and they were getting rejected and sent back for rewrites. And it eventually got to the point. The way I understand it is that they said that we're not canceling your contract, but we're not going to approve any more drafts. So they had an unfinished.
They want to pay them. Is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, pretty much. They're just they're not breaching the contract, but they're not approving any more drafts, and so Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman they're taking them to court. So they filed a lawsuit.
Yeah. I mean, so hopefully the court will determine whether they actually were breaching the contract or not, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's pretty big.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I would say make a living. I mean, this is a huge lawsuit. It's $30 million they're asking for too, as well, suing this huge corporation.
Usually in those kind of cases, they ask for an astronomical number and then try to settle, which is I'm assuming what will happen.
For a percentage of that, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you would hope so that they would be able to come to an agreement anyway, just for the fact that these creators are essentially national treasures. Like they created an entire gaming culture with their pioneer work. I mean, these are people who sat with like Gygax, like the creator of Dungeons and Dragons. They were there at the very beginning. And the reason why I wanted to bring it up is not to talk about a downer thing with a case. I mean, this is what entertainment has progressed to. This isn't the only place where it's happening. This is happening. It's happening in comics. It's happening in Hollywood. It's happening, in music. These big corporations are taking these iconic faces out of. Oh, very good.
Great.
Yeah, it does. It looks fantastic. I love that build too, Javier. Very cool. I feel like they're trying to take these pioneers out of the industry and replace it with like a corporate model, because they don't want these creators to be they don't want them to be considered canon. They want the company to be considered canon. See what I'm saying? Like with Stan Lee, he had such a huge.
I mean, look at what happened to Stan Lee toward the end of his life. He was totally screwed over. I was actually reading the whole thing in AARP because my parents had it.
I read that too. Yeah.
All the elder abuse that he was suffering, and I mean, like, you know, he is, you know, a creator or co-creator of, you know, some of the biggest characters ever, and like, why is this happening to him? Like, why is the giant corporation that basically owns his shit like allowing that to happen? I mean, you know.
Yeah, you'd think someone would step in, and you know, the big thing is we ask ourselves that, honestly, the more that I look into all these situations, I feel like I'm starting to get an idea as to why they're doing that. I've also talked to some other professionals as well, and confirmed a lot of things with people who are on the inside that actually know, that are in the know and have done it, have been through the same things as these creators. And I think what it is that they don't want that, you know, they learned from what happened with Stan Lee. Stan Lee may have created all those characters, but he did it for a paycheck. And the fans, when they found out that these billions of dollars, you know, were going through this company from this guy's hard work, they essentially revolted in a way. They online, the social media has totally changed the dynamic of everything. So they can have a voice very easily on social media, on platforms. Directly, a lot of times directly to the company. They can at them on Twitter whenever they post. And so you know, these people kind of revolted in a way, and Stan got a deal, $1 million for the rest of his life per year, $1 million every year for the rest of his life as long as he's alive. And so these companies, even though to these companies it's not a lot of money, it's essentially the fact that you know, it's a situation where the creator had more power than the corporation.
And
because
frankly,
the fans,
he's one of the few who, and it's only because of his like huge public persona, really.
That's right, and the huge body of work.
DC built it on the back. Like Superman is the one that carried DC for many years.
Yep.
And it's so sad that I was reading about the creators of it, and it was actually
Schuster.
It was actually Universal that pensioned one of them that was still alive when they made Superman the movie. DC never pensioned them. DC never really did anything, and they still fighting. I remember right before Man of Steel came out, the movie, the Superman was back in court because, you know, the whatever the time was had expired, and the family was hoping to get it back, and of course they made Man of Steel. So
that's right. And so like that was a great example and a bad situation for those creators where they
lost that.
They were, you know, essentially died broke. Like, and this company made so much money off of the character that they created that really started the comic book revolution, started the industry. And so these are the kind of things I think that as a society and as fans, like I think we have to be vocal and make sure that those things don't happen, because we need to appreciate those creators. I don't care about the cold calculating corporation that has all these people on payroll or suits that aren't creative types. You know, you got to get back to that core, and that I think indie is very honest. It's just like a creator and his customers, and it's I think that's very honest. And you don't have all these, you may not have the production powers, these big companies, but you have a lot less overhead. You don't have all these uncreative types trying to tell creative types how to create stories, which just doesn't work. Think about it. I mean, if they don't do that and they don't think in that mindset, they're trying to tell you what would be a good story, it just doesn't make sense. If you're a professional writer or you've got a history of creating, you know, let those people do it. And so this is a prime example of where you've got someone who was a pioneer. The fans adore them, love their work for years, and we want another book series from them. It'd be great to get their modern take on this fantasy universe, and that's being stopped. We're being denied that because the company doesn't want to spend money for resources for this new editing team they brought in, and pay, you know, Margaret and Tracy Hickman for their years of experience and all this stuff. It becomes an expense to them, especially for a big corporation like Hasbro that just wants to make toys. Like, I imagine they don't even do publishing. It's all third party. So they find a third party publishing house that wants to license it and do it, because they want merchandise. They want to do Magic the Gathering cards. They want to do the source material and the books and merchandise, and then make toys, you know, like, because that's where they're at, and it's profitable. It's easy for them to push that. And they already
Yeah,
knew
I mean,
it. So yeah,
the whole publishing industry is dying
Yeah.
completely. I mean, they've not adapted to like the modern digital world at all, and I think that a lot of publishing houses and when you have all these conglomerates, they're more afraid to take any kind of risks on creators, and as you said, everything has to be like a little more focus tested, and that doesn't really like lead to innovation. Like
right.
many interesting things are getting made, and I don't know exactly what happened with the Dragonlance creators, but obviously there was some sort of editorial differences.
Yeah, because they kept sending back copies and then they said they wouldn't approve drafts. So and you're talking about people that have done this for many years and it's tried and true. Their method works because people love Dragonlance. People bought the shit out of it and read it. It was New York Times best-selling material. You know what I mean? These are New York Times best-selling authors we're talking about, and they're getting, they're getting drafts rejected by apparently an editorial team that knows something that they don't, with decades of successful writing experience. You need to respect that. You can't really. It's hard to imagine why somebody would even want to do that with their career. But that's what this editorial team is doing. They're rejecting these old creators so that they can mold this story into something that they feel is the vision of Dungeons and Dragons. But
yeah,
sure, it's subjective, you know what I mean? But this is a tribute series. They should just let them write their books and get them out to the fans, so the customers will want them. I mean,
there's going to be a fan base for them, and there already is what it comes down to. I mean,
That's
we probably
right.
won't really ever learn the details because I imagine they'll settle.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll go to court realistically, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's not great. Like, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that I appreciate them for they're brave to bring this lawsuit up with this company on this. I'm glad that they did, because it brings, hopefully we can make awareness to this and see that it's not just them. Like, that's a very small part of the market. It's happening across the board to everything. The corporations are taking control of these IPs, and they're trying to turn it into a situation where they are canon and they're the only ones that are selling. What's that?
Disney.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, look at what happened with Star Wars. Like, they clearly, I mean, whatever you think of the movies, it's very obvious they didn't have a cohesive vision throughout the 3 movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not here to debate whether they're good movies or not, but
that's
clearly
fine.
They didn't know where it was ending from the first to the third of the new trilogy. And it's so obvious.
That's right. And the difference that you can see is it's not George Lucas. It was bought by this corporation, and now they have this IP, and they're just like, okay, this is Star Wars. We've got this, and every little piece of that. These young up-and-comers, these people that were hired in Disney apparently to take this humongous project that's been a unanimous success since its beginning, and then they all want to put their stamp on it, and they all want to have a piece of it, and they got their name in the credits, and they all and then you get too many cooks that spoil the soup.
The X-Men,
There's egos involved when you get huge crowds of creative teams. I mean, you need a big team to make a movie, but you need a linear vision. And originally you had
6 screenwriters,
right? And that's what happened. People got in there and fucked it up.
That's what you gotta understand. People will tell you, "Oh, this director is such an asshole. He doesn't let you." No, that director's trying to keep that vision alive.
Yeah.
Because then you have Star Wars. You have. I mean, I remember I went to see it. I kept expecting for Professor X to show up and recruit them, because everybody had powers. All of a sudden, even the little kids on the street, and they were pushing Mary Poppins at the time. So of course you had the little kids sweeping, and magical stuff is happening. Princess Leia's coming back from space after being shot through an airlock. I said, for that same reason, man, what happened to Mace Windu? He should have been able to fly,
It's true, yeah.
It's
not consistent.
I was disappointed, very disappointed. It just, so of course they tell you, well, it's not for you. This is not your Star Wars. Oh, it definitely wasn't. And I'm sad. I wish I'd never seen it. Just mess with my mind's eye.
It's looking good.
Ooh. I like it.
Awesome, man. I dig it. Yeah, I love that. And so so what I was saying about it is that I think we need to be more aware of how that's going. And Disney's a huge monopoly. Star Wars is just one of the many IPs. They bought Lucasfilms to acquire that. They own Marvel. They bought Fox. It seems like because they've got the money, they're acquiring like a monopoly on entertainment.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
And they're going to do the same things these other big corporations are doing, which they're seeing that like literature, publishing, printing, like you said, Daniel, they're doing away with that because the profits aren't there. It's not like doing media and movies. You want to go towards the streaming services. Disney started its own streaming service, and so they're taking the soul out of it, and then they're trying to mass produce it and trying to produce it quickly and make a cash grab off of it is what it feels like. Like with the Star Wars, everybody went to go see the Star Wars films, even though afterwards, everybody, a lot of people were disappointed with them. Just like you said, Dan, that's a popular opinion that they were not up to expectations. But everybody went to go see them, and they're doing the same thing with like the Harry Potter series. But I don't even think that like the creator
killed it. I mean, that's Warner Brothers, I think. But yeah, they've pretty much killed. I mean, who cares about Fantastic Beasts at this point? It's not very good.
Yeah,
I saw both of them. Neither were very good.
Was this a story that needed to be told anyways? Who was clamoring for this?
Exactly.
That's right.
Anyone really looking for a mediocre Harry Potter prequel? Like, probably not. Like, but, it's like they're just keep doing it until they're going to sort of burn out the goodwill of these franchises. I mean, if their original plan for Star Wars was to alternate a regular one and an anthology movie every year. And because it went so poorly, now they are probably not going to release another Star Wars movie super soon. So it actually ends up hurting them.
It hurts them in the long run,
Yeah.
Well, they lucked out with The Mandalorian.
Right. I mean,
definitely. The Mandalorian is great. I was enjoying that.
Yeah.
But that's definitely the exception where they found a good balance of like honoring the source material, but like doing something kind of new with it and like innovating within the conception of like what Star Wars is to most people.
And hopefully they learned their lesson. I'm going to leave the cooks alone. Let them keep cooking. They're doing great work. Let them go. Season 2, Season 3. Just let the same people do their job.
Yes.
Most of the time, when people start thinking about it too much, then they start changing stuff. Look what happened to The Walking Dead. Great first season. Boom.
Yeah.
Suddenly, producers here, producers there. Oh, I'm a part of it. I'm co-creator. Everybody came out of the woodwork. Now, would we have ended up with a different Walking Dead series on year 2 or 3 if, the original, what was it, Gale Hurd and the other guy were not out it?
Frank Darabont, who's the
Darabont, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe. I mean, I'm not complaining about what we got because it was good for a good 7 seasons. But that goes to show that we need to protect our creations when we're at this level. Because once, we blow up or anybody's property blows up, that's when all the lawyers come out of the woodwork and they all want to take your hard work. All of them want the hard work done by somebody else that they can just rip off and they get all the rewards.
Absolutely.
That's just the corporate entertainment mindset. So we got to protect our creation.
That's right, man. Grifters got to grift. I agree. People.
I'll tell you an interesting story.
Something they didn't work for.
About something that I actually know the behind the scenes knowledge of. I had a writing professor a while ago, and when he was a screenwriter, and he worked on Law and Order and like a bunch of TV shows, and he was coming out with this movie called Emperor, and I think it stars like Matthew Fox, and it's about like World War II after Japan, and like when they were trying to figure out what to do with Emperor Hirohito, who was ultimately they did not end up killing him because he was seen as a god by a lot of Japan at the time. But he was the creator of this movie, and he had lived in Japan for a long time, and he taught English, and he had a very strong connection with Japanese culture. And when he went to go get this movie made, it was him, and he had like a good friend in Japan who was helping him produce. And this is a Hollywood movie. Then he ended up they ended up bringing in like a Hollywood producer who, at his request, just to make sure everything was more professional, and then he completely got screwed over, and he got fired off his own movie, and they put on another screenwriter, and they like added this like love subplot and things like that. And from what he had said, it ended up or rather, it was coming out when I had him as a professor, so it was an interesting time. But from what I had heard, it ended up bombing. Like, it was horrible, and they and he told us like what elements they changed from like the theatrical version to like his original screenplay. Like, they added like a crappy like love subplot and like all these different things. So it's just like, it was interesting to see, what we're talking about like really happen like on a fairly large scale, like in real time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You see that model a lot in entertainment where they, you got this creative team, or you've got this creator, and then you've got this the editorial team, or like the corporation is trying to make it better, and the way that they're like in the lab with this alchemical formula, and they've taken all this data from online, and so what they're trying to do is they put little pieces in to try to appeal to everybody, and then they end up appealing to nobody because it's just like this big hodgepodge of marketing data that's been just slapped into this movie. Originally you got this vision, and then it's overcrowded with all this crap that they think that people need because they've got data coming in from social media, but really they've diminished the story and the vision, the original story and vision. So you see that a lot. The movies that just look like a hodgepodge mess. It looks like a contrived, contrived casserole of crap. Yeah.
Did you guys ever watch An Evening with Kevin Smith when it first came out?
I've heard of it, but I haven't had to.
No, I haven't. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, if you guys ever get a chance, he talks about when he got invited to Hollywood. At the time, they wanted to make a Superman movie.
Oh.
He talked to the guy, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I would like a giant spider and this and that." And he thought, what would that be in a Superman movie? And this guy was financing the movie. In the end, that giant spider idea ended up in the Wild Wild West movie. But he tells you the whole how it came together. And he was saying, these guys provide the money, so they have ideas. So, of course, he goes to see this guy. I think this guy was, like, coked out of his head. And he's like, yeah, bring in a giant spider, and I want this, and I want that. And eventually it ended up in another movie. But because I remember watching the Wild Wild West movie, and I was like, what the hell is that giant spider doing there?
Now you know.
And then watching the show, it's like,
came from that fucking guy.
Yeah, Man of Steel has something like that piece of equipment in the Indian Ocean.
Oh yeah, the
looks like a
spider or whatever. Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do.
They got it. They got their giant spider.
Yeah, whoever's providing the money still gets to call the shots. No matter what. You have a great idea, and they just, hey, how much money do you have? Well, I got my idea. Well, this guy's got $1 million or $1 billion he's putting into this movie. We'll go with his spider. Make it work.
There you go.
Exactly.
That's a good idea.
With all that executive meddling, like a lot of very bad things that end up getting made that seemed like a good idea at the time.
I hear you though, Rick, with money talks thing, but the thing is the guy, if you get one of those guys that's got too much money and not enough good ideas, and he's just it could be bad. It can be volatile to create a project. You know what I mean? So. That's why I like indie. I like the idea. We have the talent. I like the idea. There's a lot of people out there that have talent, but I like indie just because, like I said before, I think it's honest. You've got a creator with a vision. You've got a creative team, and everybody's working together on one project. This small team, and it's just you and the customers. You're promoting to them, and when they buy, they know what they're getting. They see the creator, see the work, and you get one vision. You get a vision. Sometimes it's a miss. Sure, you get people that aren't ready, or their story is missing or lacking something that you expected. Who knows? But it's honest. And I think a studio like us with guys who are professionals, it's going to be great for the fans. That's going to be a good buy for the fans because they're going to get professional work. They're going to get a professional looking book. Yeah, so that's beautiful for us because it's honest. We're going to get to express ourselves. With successful crowdfund, get the book out. What's you guys' goal anyway?
I think we're gonna set it fairly low, just to start.
$30,000-$40,000, something.
Yeah,
like
you know.
50,000.
Whatever.
Why not 50?
Nice round number.
It's
50,000.
only, it's only
Yeah, don't sell
money.
yourself short. Go all out. If you're
It's
gonna go,
comics. There's money in comics. Everybody knows that.
yeah.
Look at The Walking Dead. There you go.
Exactly.
You guys are
everybody's
scaring me, man.
water
Pretty much
level.
the bar.
Yeah.
You guys are scaring me because I need a pretty hefty number. So my crowdfund. I mean, last time it was still even high, but
Yeah.
see what we can do.
Yeah, it helps to start off a little smaller when you don't have much of a fan base, and
Yeah.
then like once you can get more established, then you can up it. But yeah,
The
it is
biggest
tough.
disadvantage is as a writer, which you know that too as well. Like as a writer, because
Yeah, I mean,
the artwork's expensive.
where do you think some of the money's coming from? Like,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, you have to be able to pitch in some on your own, and I may even push back and do that myself until I come into a little bit of money and get a little. I know I'm going with a bigger art package this time, so I've got some guys already lined up, commissioned, and we've got the letter of endorsement from Ed Greenwood, which is great.
Yeah,
we'll be able to have a guarantee for the fans. I'm hoping that we can get the number they asked for. So, it's what it is. And all of this is little. I have a lot of I have a lot of love for all this work for all of us. Like I said, whether it's my project or it's somebody else's project, just if it's a CCS project, I love it. So I want to see us do well. I put a lot of pressure on myself, but ultimately, the work's good. It speaks for itself. I think we're going to do all right.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I'm
gonna be
not worried. It's just a matter of getting it out there, and I think once it gets out there, it'll start to speak for itself. Because we just have so many people involved, and everyone knows people who would be interested. So that helps a lot.
That's right. Yeah, work together and share the words. Because essentially, it's just gonna be a good book. It's gonna be a well-drawn book. It's gonna be a well-written, well-created book. So it's a good bet. We're a good bet.
Absolutely, I agree.
I've known that from the start.
I bet on us. So.
Absolutely, yeah. We bet. That's right. We bet on us. We put our own time into this. So we've already bet I've got countless hours on this, and I know you guys do well. So we're dedicated.
Look how well we did in getting that preview book out there with no funding. So phenomenal.
It was a $0. I tell people that all the time. I was like, it's a $0 budget. Like literally put this together with no money. If we have a reasonable amount of money, we can do amazing things. You know what I mean? I pitched a bunch of my money this year to do these preview pages and so for promotion and put a lot of time into the streaming and stuff. Trying to get that down because I don't have that's not in my wheelhouse, so I have to work at it, like doing streaming and those kind of things. I got to learn, but
for sure.
Yep. Hey, you guys, we were talking about the industry summit. I was leaning. You guys want to watch my 10-minute pilot for Party White Productions, Dungeons and Dragons with Joe?
It's
2 hours. It's 2 hours, a 2-hour session condensed into 10 minutes. I took all the highlights from it and I did the video editing myself. I had to taught myself this year so I can do little commercials and promos and stuff because it costs money to do that. They're fairly simple, but I think they've got the creative heart behind them. So I think they're good, and it was a fun session. So you guys want to watch it?
Sure.
Right,
Yeah,
cool.
Sounds good.
Do it.
All right, so we're going to be doing this. These are going to be live streams. This was a recorded session. It was a play test. Okay, we wanted to play test the content and get the party everybody familiar with each other, all the players, and Joe's DMing. And he's doing the artwork for my book too. So we just wanted to do this for something.
You let him win? Is that what you're saying? You let him win?
What's that?
Is that what you're saying? You let him win?
Well, not exactly. This is called Party White Productions. It's Circle of Ilium, and Joe is actually legitimately trying to kill us like the entire time. So this is it was a lot of fun. So it's gonna be about 10 minutes. You guys are good with that?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I like the way this guy thinks.
And then, Blake, actually, go ahead and be prepared to take some damage. Yeah, no
So-
headaches for me is good. Nope, that ain't happening.
Joe, you fucking savage. Thanks for letting me off the hook.
Yep, nobody's upset. I mean, someone might be upset, but
Well, you can harbor feelings of anger or tension if you'd like. I mean, I'm not
furious.
I'm
12 damage. Let's give it one more, and we'll be really disappointed.
Oh, I'm just killing it tonight. Jesus.
Ooh, fantastic. All right, well, I hope you didn't want to actually be important or do anything. So
No, I just wanted to like,
I'm here.
Look at me with the sword.
Take 4 damage. You get stuck.
okay, got it.
It's very
Rough.
unfortunate. You ain't been stuck like that for a little while. So yeah, it's kind of
I'm taking a beating.
11 damage there. Absorb 10 hit points of damage. Math. Take 13 damage.
13.
Yeah. Cram!
That's ridiculous.
It's unpleasant.
That hurts.
You do.
That's hurt. That's half me. That's half of me, man.
That's half of your existence.
Yeah.
Joe, this is obscene. What are you doing?
I'm trying to wipe you guys. I'm trying to kill everyone.
Okay.
With my sword, I kind of just drew a circle in the air and screamed out fire.
So Ryan's about to get
Naldorn.
Mauled.
Yeet it.
Ryan's about to yeet the sorcerer out of here. Alright, what's the other do? Dick.
Make sure you do the Wilhelm scream when you get yeeted. Huh? Ah!
Dump him.
Does he like scream as he swings it?
He goes, look.
That was an amazing sound you made, by the way. That scream sound. When I came back and sat on one of my testicles, I made the same noise.
You're kind of obstructed. You shoot at the sorcerer again.
Okay. AC 10, right?
You have mage armor up, so it should. Okay, Ryan.
Should
I
be
think
AC
you're
10.
thinking. No, Ryan. You are thinking Thaco. So everybody's AC starts at 10 plus their Dex bonus, and then you'll have your mage armor plus that. So yours should be like 15 or 16 or something.
Oh,
Archer, he takes like a sliding step back away from the spiritual weapon, turns his sights to you, aims his crossbow, and then shoots it like 40 feet away from you, up in the air.
fantastic.
Yes, quite.
You'd be hard pressed to pierce the mage armor of Total.
Wild owl bear starts appears. Where'd you
I got a 92. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's good. Oh, he's so dead.
64,000 damage. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yikes! Did that thing just come out?
No.
What are you doing?
I'm just hiding in the forest.
Shit, Joe.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's still standing. It's not super happy.
Yeah, I bet not. I whooped its ass a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little upset. It might want to take you out. You don't know.
I'm gonna use my free insult action to say, "Take that, you neutral pea-brained beast."
And I will attack. Come on, baby.
And then I'm gonna call it.
Call it your turn.
Yep.
Oh, they're like calling the game. How do you want to do this?
I want to take my mace, and I just want to drop my shield and use both my hands and slam really hard on the top of his head and crush it.
Blood eruption of vile ichor goes everywhere. Everybody within melee range is covered.
Nice, bro.
Yep.
Nice
All right.
touch.
So he's gonna be super mort as well.
Nice touch,
Okay.
Joe. I just ate.
If you guys are ready to die, let's see.
Can I take cover under the owlbear?
I'm going to go inside.
Yeah, like that scene out of Star Wars. So he's up, he's up under that squiggle of pink and green looking stuff, right?
That's just acid. It's nothing.
Okay.
Let's cast Acid Stream again. Because Joe's got the loaded dice tonight. Jeez, man.
Yeah.
Nobody go out in the alley and throw at this guy. I mean, he's gonna take all your money, and he'll own the deed to your home and everything. Like he's gonna. This guy's chucking fire.
Alright.
There's my 2 rolls.
Yep, go ahead and hit some damage on there.
All right.
So,
Hey, that's a natural 20. So yeah, but that doesn't matter because it's a spell. You don't get crit damage, right?
I don't know. I don't know how to play this game. I've never been a spellcaster.
I don't want to get ripped.
Spellcaster was stupid. So it's patient defense, and that's your monk ability, where you're pretty much just like ready to. So yeah, catch these hands. Right. Well, my goblin was pretty awesome, so he got party wiped.
So now he's been brought back as your avatar.
Yep, now he is for me.
That's his
forever.
punishment.
That's his immortality.
I'm not here to change anybody's feelings. As long as you just keep it on the inside bottled, where it will slowly eat at you, and then
Where it can do the most harm. Yeah.
absolutely,
Okay.
and then let it all out at once. Once it's built to a climax.
Kolvar's turn.
Splendid. I will summon the molten core of the mountains of Tull and cast Scorching Ray.
Holy hell. I feel so immersed.
You should be.
18.
Yeah.
See it.
Alright, here comes the pain.
Do it.
Destroy him.
There it goes.
No, trust me. When I cheat, it'll be when you least expect it. I'm not going to do it right now. Like,
Not out in the open.
yeah, no, absolutely. I'm going to make it count.
Hey Ryan, since we're just doing a playtest now, if you want to just go ahead and set us live and let's just fiddle fart around.
Okay. Yeah, I already hit the I hit the record button 10 minutes ago. So
Oh, so we got all that. Cool thing.
absolutely got all that. Yeah, and I was hoping to get some evidence or like get some dirt on you, so that way I could use it against you for the rest of the campaign.
Let's do it.
Again, if I'm going down, I'm going down.
And then I want to cast. I'm going to cast Acid Stream, even though he's got half. Yes, melts acid arrows.
Okay, so he's acided.
He's been effectively acided.
All right, do you see the acid on him?
Yes.
Yeah,
You mean that?
Effect budget? Oh,
that
yeah.
Nickelodeon slime, man.
You mean that ugly green squiggle that's on the screen? Yes, I do see that.
Hey,
Is anybody else offended that Joe's an animation major and that's the green squiggle that I got from Show My Acid?
if you want flash effects, I don't know how to do that.
Oh man.
I tried to use my pen for drawing some stuff and it didn't do anything. So. Hey, guess who's gonna take 68 damage?
I'm just ripping. Yeah, take 1,000,000 damage next turn.
The lightning bolt goes down.
I thought you wanted me to play this game with you, Joe.
Nope, I'm gonna kill you every time. Call Party Wet for a reason. Oh hey everybody who's watching this afterwards, welcome to Party Wet, where I try to kill.
Welcome to Party White.
Where I try to kill all these characters.
You're doing a good job. You got shit, Joe.
Don't worry about it.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for sitting through that. All of it.
That was
Ryan,
great.
I,
It was great.
I wasn't gonna make it through 10 minutes. I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
okay.
passing out here. I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are having fun, and I just can't. I'm like, oh god.
Well, we're just starting out with it, and Joe and I've already been talking about what we want to do. So we want to get started with it. We're just having fun with the players that we have that agreed, but we want to bring in guests as well. So like in the future, there might be there's going to be opportunities for people to come in as guest players or guest
Nice.
DMs. I'm going to take some of the guys that I know that worked and done some RPG stuff maybe, and
Mhm.
so yeah. When we make something, we just want to build a following, just
Yeah,
have fun.
definitely would love to join sometime.
Yeah.
You never know who's gonna be watching. Maybe Ed Greenwood might be watching and jump in a
That's
day or
true.
two.
Yeah, you never
That'd
know. We
be
might
cool.
have Tim Kask or like some of those old dudes that built the industry. Absolutely, that'd be great. There's a lot of streams out there where people are doing gaming. People enjoy it, coming to watch other people play these games. Like if they can't play, they're not with their party. Like the people that they play with.
I'd be in there for maybe 10 minutes tops. I'd have time to set up. Then everybody just kill me.
Gosh, we would
Joe?
act it out. We jump on tables. We
Yeah.
run through the halls. We do all kinds of stuff. And
I'd have my
Joe?
Leroy Jenkins moment in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I imagine there's going to be some of that. They're a pretty wily crowd that we have, and so guys are great though. They were a lot of fun, and Joe's good shit, and he's doing all the artwork. There's a lot of line work there that you saw that's not colored, but he's good. His colorist is tied up, but we're gonna have the artwork colored, and he's doing that first encounter was one of the built-in maps, but he's doing custom maps for it. So he's got some intricate stuff. Like he's really like unleashing like creative with him. He likes fantasy. He likes tabletop gaming. So he's going to get to be creative, and we can show that side of it and show some of his artistic ability like before we launch the book. And so that's another aspect of it that I really like. And then ultimately just have fun. It's been a while since I've been able to just tune out. Like you could probably see it. Like I put a lot of pressure on myself, but something like that where it's just like this gaming setting, we're just having fun, like was amazing. Like it really changed the perspective for me, like to do something that there was no pressure. I could just, because I've done a bunch of gaming, so it was natural. So it was just fun to just, do it no pressure, just play a game. And then we make a stream out of it, make some content out of it. So do something for the fans.
Yeah,
Not expecting them to buy anything. They can just come and watch and just enjoy the good time, watch the gaming, watch the artwork, and they're not expected to buy anything or there's no expectations. Just come and enjoy it. So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, role playing is a great chance for us to let somebody else run with the rules, because most of the time we're creating our own worlds. We, as writers, as artists, as musicians, we're creating our own stuff. We're in charge, right? We control the final product. But when you put a bunch of people together and you have one person in charge, it creates, a great opportunity for us to just relinquish running everything and just be at the whim and mercy of random chance of the dungeon master, and you never know what wicked things they could come up with that you couldn't. And that the more you play, the more you get to know the personalities of everybody else, and the more individual they become, and you just start looking forward to meeting them every time you get together. And let me see what crazy thing this guy's going to do this week. Oh, wait a minute, it's my turn. I got to do something crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, it's fun.
I'm really
yeah,
joking to play some D&D.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was great too. I was so glad that was another thing that I liked about it too. You guys nailed it. That rather than me writing or creating or doing something, Joe had this campaign idea and wanted to go with it. So I get to go and be a player. Like I don't have to run. He had me running the map. I was controlling the map so that it was one less thing that he had to do on his end. But ultimately, I just get to play and have fun, which is great. Because usually on my streams, like I'm trying to have a plan and I'm worried about what kind of content I have or what if I have something else to show. And then like that's nice because he's handling all of that, so I get to go and just enjoy myself, which is great.
Definitely, absolutely.
Yeah, and the opportunity to do all these different things. You had Spelljammer, you could play ninjas, you could be a dragon character, then you could be cyberpunk. The beauty, at least where I grew up, the beauty of Friday nights was you don't know who's going to throw a game. So this night, we could be vampires. Next weekend we'll be werewolves. The next weekend we'll be pirates. And it's always something different and new. And if we're bored, hey, everybody brought their books. Let's bust out this other game instead, and we'll just run with it. And I do miss that. That camaraderie, and of course after the game you go out, have a couple of beers, eat something,
Yeah.
go home. But yeah, that was really cool, and you got to see people outside of their normal environments. You always had the guy that always played girl characters and
Right.
stuff like that, and they're like, oh, what's up with that? But then you just figure out, hey, it's just different because you've played 10 barbarians in a row. You want to do something different? Hey, play a
Exactly.
female druid. Why not? It's all make believe, anyways.
Yeah, and it allows people to explore like different aspects of themselves that like they may not have normally got into because you're getting outside of your own persona and you're playing a different character.
Yeah, and you
That's
always got
right.
that newbie, and they're like, I don't know this guy. He's gonna play. All right, let's see what character he does. And everybody suddenly becomes a psychologist, right? What is this guy gonna do? What character is he gonna do? Is he gonna backstab us? We gotta backstab him first. So, and then
It's all in good fun, and you guys are right too as well. I went outside of my comfort zone on this. Well, not so much my comfort zone, but I felt free like with the whole project. So I went outside even like the normal. Like normally, I tend to play heroic type characters. I like like paladins and bards. They're expressive and actually charisma based characters. So the role playing, because I like the role playing. It's fun. And this time I went totally in the opposite direction. I made a lawful evil sorcerer. And so I was role playing a lawful evil sorcerer, which is like in the games the way the alignments work. Lawful evil is kind of the least evil of the bunch. It's essentially more of a law based, like a politician type or a they believe in law and they don't
Right,
they
like
don't role play
Inquisitor
law.
or something.
Yeah, they're not law. They don't have lawlessness to them,
lawful
and they
evil.
don't. Yeah, and they don't. Yeah, that's right. The eyebrows and everything. I gotta remember that. And so, essentially they're okay. So they're a law-based character, and they won't act like crimes. Like they're not murderous, like some of the other ones, or like that type. So it works with like the group when you're doing like the role playing and everything, but just adds a different aspect of it. So I was able to role play like the insults and like those kind of things, and it kind of adds. The reason why I chose it is it gives like a different dynamic to the group for entertainment. Because I was talking with some of my friends about it, and someone else who does like a role playing stream. We're playing a game, but it's not even like a traditional game. Because when you're sitting with your friends, you can have these long periods of dead time where you're just talking about whatever. You're just hanging out, like you said, you're just having a beer, maybe you're rolling some dice. But where this is a stream, we're also trying to entertain. So people who are viewers we want them engaged and having fun. So essentially, it's like the campaign is like a script, but we're trying to keep the pace going, keep the action going. We've got a couple of tricks that we're going to be using to push the pace and make it interesting for people to watch as well. We're making a show. We're trying to entertain as well. So all those things factored in. Like I just chose a character that I felt would be fun to role play. Might be a cool dynamic, like for the other players even to have to deal with, and also with Joe. Maybe kind of harass Joe, give him a hard time a little bit. So give him something else to think about while we're playing. So and he is trying to kill us, so it just makes it a little more fun. Be able to give him some shit while we're doing it. So
cool.
Yeah. So it was cool. Yeah, it was a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I think the next time we're actually going to go live 16th. So that's going to be 5 days is our next session. Yeah, so I think we're going to go live then. Joe's been working on a campaign. That was a play test, so we just recorded there. That wasn't live.
Gotcha.
I took it and just made the content. Yeah, and so
nice.
Another thing, the reason why I wanted to mention it and show it too is those are things that anybody can do with their own channels. Like it takes some of the pressure off. Like you're always talking about comics. Like I'm always on the job. I always feel like there's a lot of pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself, and it's nice to be able to do an episode where it's just that pressure's gone. You know what I mean? Right. I don't have to talk about comics. We're doing something totally different. We're not trying to sell anything. We're just there having fun, trying to put a show on for people. And so something to think about as a creator, because you mentioned like always being in charge. You guys mentioned it. Always being in charge is it's a lot of pressure. If you're always on the job, you get wound tight after a while. So it's important to be able to release and have fun, and something like that. If you can come up with some kind of idea, anything, you're doing music like Joe does instruction, or Rick does, inking instruction videos on his YouTube channel. It's something that you enjoy and giving something back to the fans, and you're not asking for anything in return. I imagine, Rick, you enjoy it when you get to do those videos and you get feedback from people who saw, hey, that inking video was great, or, it's just it's nice to be able to do something that's outside of it, rather than always sitting at the table drawing for yourself. You're doing something to give back, or anything. It could be anything. Maybe you play guitar, maybe you do songs. I've seen people doing karaoke streams. People who are creators, they just did a karaoke night. They actually have a karaoke night. Yeah, I know a guy who's doing it like an online. People could come in from the chat. He'd post the link in the chat, and they'd name a song, and he had the program set up so you could just type the song in, and they would play, and they come on and actually sing on a stream.
That could be entertaining. Sure.
Yeah, like a karaoke. Yeah.
Bust out a couple rhymes on us. Word nerd, let's hear it.
No. Yeah, no, I'm not right there.
Don't encourage it.
I can't freestyle. I only do written. It's like I have to have lots of. I'm like Batman. I have to have lots of prep time.
All right, I agree. Guys,
if I have lots of,
we got to do a beat.
Yeah, that was great, man. That's fantastic. I got nothing. No, I have to. I'm like Batman. I have to have prep time at the.
I agree.
At the back computer.
I'm not a great public speaker, but if I write it before, I can do it very well.
Daniel, you got 2 weeks, man. 2 weeks. I'll come back with Brian.
I'll take it. I'll need the whole 2 weeks.
You guys heard it right here. Maybe this is the moment when.
Come up with a couple chords. Hook us up.
Yeah.
You guys heard it right here. Maybe this is the moment that you guys create that great duo.
Definitely.
It's timeless. The timeless classic. You guys just.
Ryan, don't excuse yourself. You're gonna sing this, man.
It's true. This is a collaboration. We're all creators here.
Is it a song sang in 30 style? On guitar, and singing La Cucaracha and the style of Metallica or something like that.
I got cowbell, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our destiny. Maybe we were supposed to start a mariachi band, and this is the beginning right now.
Ryan in the background of the Spirit Fingers.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to lose a bet. That's fine, but I'm gonna have to lose a bet for you guys to get me an address. I can tell you that much. Ain't happening.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, you guys gotta have to set me up.
Be
a background dancer
would be, but
Well, I mean, you said background dancer. I mean, if I'm gonna be there, I want to look pretty.
As well, you should. You have the right to be pretty, Ryan. We all do.
Show a little bit of leg. Hey, man, we need to get some books out. I got to take one for the team.
You do what you want.
Hey, whatever we need to do to promote, why not?
Whatever we have to do. If I have to show a little bit of leg, I'm in. I'm fucking in.
And you got to do the worm.
Show a little bit of undercarriage. Just to make sure it's not a really short dress. Not get moving around, get moving and shaking.
Of course.
Go big or go home, man. Come on. I need the corsage. I need the thing. Yeah.
Oh man,
that's a
I never thought it would come to this.
Daniel, write this in a book, bro. We got to put
true. Why? That's going to be an American Eagle Part 2.
Yeah, we got to put this somewhere.
I never thought it would come to this, that my professional friends would whore me out for comic books, but I guess we're there now.
I don't know why you ever considered it would not happen. That's the greater question.
I knew this day would come. I've been preparing my whole life for this.
Willing to do anything.
I finally.
You set the table with Dungeons and Dragons. We're just revealing our personalities.
True.
Here, man.
Just exploring different aspects of ourselves. You never know.
Backstabber. Did I say that? Yeah.
I acted humble and surprised, but deep down in my heart, I've been just waiting for this moment. So
we know.
I finally have my moment to shine.
All right, get the dress out.
That's right. I was actually ironing it before the show. Like I was ready. I was just hoping someone would ask.
We knew.
I know it's all over my face.
I'll admit that. I need the wig. Yeah, my hair's growing, man. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you gotta
wear the dress. I'll wear the wig, and we'll figure it out. I'll shave for that too.
You have to be put together completely. Yeah, absolutely. get you something that matches the shoes. Yeah.
Thank you. Exactly. That's
Yeah.
about the extent of my sense of style.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
All right.
now that I imagine I probably lost subscribers with all that
You started
all that mess. Yeah.
Definitely.
All
On that note,
7 people watching. We're down to 6. So
Oh, yeah, good. Well, good, man.
So,
All right. Well,
well, as
gentlemen,
long as there's more people here than us, I feel good.
all right. Well, guys, it's late for me in the East Coast.
Yes,
Yeah,
same
same
here. It's
So-
1 a.m. So
Yeah, we're all East Coast boys, so
She's not gonna be
Okay,
happy. I'm
so
coming
there we go.
It's late, so
yeah, I hear you, man. It's night time for me, so I'm probably gonna call it too. Thanks for coming out, guys. I
Yeah,
appreciate
this
you.
was a ton of fun. We got to do this again soon.
Oh,
Very soon. I'm doing it weekly, man. What do you think
Yeah.
every Tuesday night? Are you guys free on Tuesday nights or what?
Usually, I mean,
That's a great night for me. This is good.
Yeah, I can do this every 2 weeks because that gives me enough time to create new content and bring
Uh-huh.
it to the table.
All right, that
Okay.
sounds good. Then we'll count on
Yeah.
having you back then in a couple weeks. What about you guys are free next week? You guys want to come
I
in?
think it should be fine. Yeah.
All right, that sounds good, man. Yeah, I want to do this regular because where you guys have your project coming out, and also
Yeah, it's a good idea. The more promotion we can do, the better. Absolutely.
absolutely. And I go in afterwards and I put tags in too, try to get like the
Okay.
after views. So I mean, I get a lot of people who catch the playbacks. You know, not everybody can catch the live stream. People have
course,
lives
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. I mean, yeah. So and our East Coast people too. This is late, so not everybody can do that. So. So yeah, just get some content out there and have it out there with the tags and everything, and yeah, talk about what's going on, give us updates, show us artwork, tell us where you're at in the script. Yeah,
Definitely.
we'll promote for that, and I got some more stuff coming too. What's that, Rick?
I heard a beeping. Somebody's pizza pocket is ready.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
just, I think my wife texting me, who was like, "Why are you still on the stream at 1 o'clock in the morning?" So very reasonable.
Yeah, no, we're right along. Yeah, I was trying to do an hour. I was thinking I was gonna try to cut it back and do an hour at a time every time and just be consistent. But I get together with you guys, and you guys don't stop talking. So
We had a lot to talk
I know, I
about.
don't-
I'm sure we have a lot more to talk about.
I joke about that because I guarantee I probably had way more
I don't
words,
get-
and
I
I'd
know.
never shut up.
That's why.
Your Honor, whose show is this?
Yeah.
I rest my case. Thank you.
That's very true.
I think we do need to bring judges and see who didn't shut up more, and then fine. If you guys are gonna argue with me, I thought this was my show, Javier.
Hey, man, it's all for entertainment. You know that. By the way,
Exactly.
Superman's the best superhero ever. That's it. I'm
I'm rocking Punisher tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, we're rocking superhero stuff. I'll be wearing this anyway. It wasn't just for the stream. I'm just
You're a nice
I'm a
Superman
geek.
shirt.
I've just got my regular T-shirt on.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
mine's
Right.
like, I got a little hole on mine right here.
For your nipple.
That's a superhero himself. You could be Power Girl.
Okay.
Who knows?
This is
Show
going
it-
to the word
show a little bit
nipple and not
chest.
show a close up. Come on.
Full chest.
Little hole in it. See the guy right there? Showing a little skin for the color
Dang,
for the
man.
payment.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hey, don't encourage him. And the next stream. Now
It's too late.
And then-
It's too late.
The hole will be bigger.
that you said it,
Next week,
That-
you're going to show up with a shirt, just a huge cutout.
oh, I was just gonna say that too. I was gonna say now that you said it, now you got everybody's expectations up. So next week he's gonna have to brand his chest hair, like
Yeah.
might put a little bit of glitter in it,
Yeah.
get him prettied up, show off that Brillo padded chest hair, just glistening in the camera light.
You lost me there. I don't have any hair.
Just put them together in braids, man. Over, under.
We got to clarify that.
You're talking to the wrong Bonilla. My brother's the one that was born with all the hair. Me, I don't even have any hair in my arms. Nothing. My
Dang,
brother looked like a baby bear. Even when we were little, he came out and looked like a dribble.
like a pro wrestler. You're like a pro wrestler,
Yeah.
naturally. Well, thanks for that.
A little
Did you
hair
have to-
Yoda, baby. Okay.
Do you have to get that in before I got to go to bed, Rick? Jesus Christ, man. I have to sleep after this, you know.
Yeah. But before you go to bed, just poke your mind's eye with a stick. Just
Yeah, it's gonna be a restless evening. I can tell you
Yeah.
that much. Awesome, you guys. Hey, you guys are great, man. Yeah, we'll do this weekly. So if you're bi-weekly, Javier, that's great. And next Tuesday we can count at the same time.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
that sounds good
All right,
to me.
brothers. Thank you
Okay.
so much for coming in, and thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm gonna play my outro. Let me go, and then we're gonna call this thing.
Sounds
See, I got the this opener. Ed Greenwood did the voice lines for this, and I edited this as well. This is
Nice.
for my this is the Inexorable WordNerd segment, and then we have I do Nights of Comics Gate as well. So I got an opener for that, and I just play that as my outro because to honor Greenwood. And then like we've got the party wipe too, but I'm gonna play this as my as our outro, and then we'll call it.
Okay, so when do I get to ask Rick how do I follow him online and stuff?
Oh, that's a good question.
Everything's got my name on it. I made it easy. See that little? Let me see.
It's
that
all
little
ripping you.
picture of hold on. Let me see. Everything's got that picture on it.
Perfect.
So when
I
you
think I'm
Google
already
it-
following you on Twitter, so
Yeah, on Twitter. Hold on. I think it's Tracer70.
Yeah, it's Tracy.
Yep.
too.
I
Tracer?
almost
Really?
positive I'm following you.
Yeah. And same thing on Instagram. Tracer70.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good idea, man. That's something that should have been done already, but we get linked
Definitely.
up. I tried a couple of
Everyone's
times, but it's just
following
hard. There's so
everyone.
many. Yeah, there's so many people in the house, and everybody's so busy. Like hard to catch up on it. But
As a matter of
yeah,
fact,
sharing
if
links
you-
between
if
each
you, on Instagram, if you find the post that Ryan put in there, I already liked it. Then you'll be able
yeah.
to find me there.
Yeah, I'm on
Okay.
Instagram as well. Everything
All
for
right.
me is at Ryan Tyler Palmer. So yeah, that's my Twitter handle. It's my handle on Instagram. Facebook is my name, but my author page is at Ryan Tyler Palmer on Facebook. So
Okay. And
Try to
how
keep
about
that
yourself,
simple.
Daniel? How do I get you?
I am at Horowitz Writes, so my last name and then Writes, and that's on every platform. So
Is there a specific spelling? I mean, you're a writer, so on right, not RITZ.
yeah,
nothing like that?
Horowitz is spelled WHOREOWITZ.
nope, HOROWITZ.
I used Alex's spelling. That was awesome.
I do that all the time. I get people
Yeah.
asking me, so how do you spell Javier? I say ROBERT.
We fucking went to Bangor, and his wife. Well, she wasn't his wife then, but they're married now. But she took his badge and she wrote Horowitz on it, but she spelled it WHORE, like
Horowitz.
like he's a Horowitz.
Wow.
The whole
That was
convention
pretty
he had that
funny.
shit. I know, the whole convention he had that shit hanging off his neck, and we're selling corset stuff. It's great.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun at Bangor. That was really
I know, right? Yeah, that was good. That was my first convention. I was actually scared shitless, but it was great having you guys there with me. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. We ended up making a lot of fun. So
Yeah, no, it was a good weekend. I got sick through the weekend though, which was really bad.
I remember. Yeah,
Yeah, fucking Dan got me sick. Well, we had that video that we were making. He was sick, and then he got me sick. And I was super sick. That second night. That hit me hard, so that was rough.
yeah. You missed a pretty lit night. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was so destroyed. Buffy told me that I went back to the hotel room. I guess I went to sleep. Like I got some hot food. I think I got soup from Tim Hortons. And we got some medicine. I went and laid down, but she said she was worried she was going to have to call an ambulance on me because I was like, I had, what was it? I had the fever, and I was shaking it like throughout the night. It was so bad. She thought I was having convulsions. She kept checking on me, but I was just like shaking. Yeah, I got sick. Like it hit me like really hard. It was really bad flu. Yeah. A camera guy, Dan, the editor, Dan Sayers, my friend, he got me sick while we were editing the video during the week. And so,
Yeah,
not fun. Yeah.
definitely not
So,
the best time, but yeah, you're fine now.
yeah, I survived it. That's right. And so, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and play the outro, and then we'll call it here. Everybody's ready to go.
Sounds good. All right, have a good one, guys. Good night.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can cut out. Have a good night.
Thank you for having me on, Ryan.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely, buddy. Yep, no, anytime, guys.
See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, see you in 2 weeks.
Welcome, sisters sisters and brothers in arms. We honor those who follow the old, nearly forgotten code of honor. Our metal we wear proudly, like the scars we earn to keep our magnificent sovereignty. Our reverence to each other is only matched by our incorruptible allegiance to our morality and ideals. Warrior kings and queens sit blooded in thrones of shattered bones. Lives are but fragile drops of rain. We all fall down vehemently, yet we remain inevitable. For truth to victory, for honor infinitely, we uphold the code and embody it with a quality example. We are mighty. We are unwavering. We are inexorable.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rick, for coming by, buddy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going to